Hello everybody, and welcome to my second live stream. I enjoyed doing the other one, my debut, last time. That I thought I'd try another one. So I'm still a little bit, what's the name, a little bit sort of like jittery. So please forgive me, if there might be a couple more teething problems. I'm just getting used to the controls, you see, on the StreamYard and that, so I'll apologize in advance if there's any sort of like any errors of that. So well, I hope you've all had a nice day anyway, and it's great to be here again and that. And if you've been watching any good movies lately, let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. I've just got the 4K of Psycho. I got it cheap online for 13 quid, brand new. So I've got that now. So I'm building my 4K collection up steadily in that. So I watched a couple of movies lately in that. So I'm just going to get into the comments now then, guys. So just bear with me. Stephen Horton, hi Stephen, nice to have you along. Hi Alan, thinking of buying Fontana books. Are they as good as Pan books? Great channel. Yeah, they're very good. They're very good, Stephen. Yeah. They were such a big staple of my teen years, in the 70s. I'd always, when I used to finish school, I always used to go to the library. That would be my first port of call, and see if they had any new Fontana books of horror on the shelves and that. And by golly, I tell you, they had a good range. Yeah. And I was always excited when you got a new one coming out and that, So, oh yeah, I love the Fontana books and that. I've got a couple of the Fontana books of ghost stories as well, yeah. So, yeah, love Fontana, love Pan. Yeah, fantastic. DVD and film bloke. Hiya, nice to have you along. Thanks for coming. Andy's here. Hi, Andy. Nice to have you along. Movie Clicks. Hiya. Again, nice to have you along. Thanks for dropping by. Hiya, Mass. Yeah, good evening, Alan. Yeah, all right, Mass. Sophie's Retro Revival. Hey, Alan, the last film I watched was From Hell, and Psycho on 4K. It's a great experience, I can imagine, Sophie. Yeah, From Hell, isn't that the one about Jack the Ripper, where he comes back into modern times? I'm sure that's the one. Is Johnny Depp in that one? I think I watched that going back a few years ago now on DVD. Yeah. Bear with me. Oh, hiya, Carl. Nice to have you along. Best of luck tonight. Oh, thanks, Carl. Yeah, hope you and the family have had a nice day. Yeah. Thanks for dropping by, Carl. Oh, Pete's here. All right, Pete. Evening, Alan. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, I'm great. Thanks, Pete. Yeah, hope you are as well. I hope to have you along as a guest in a week or two. I'm just doing a couple of ones on my own listen, just to sort of get the feel of going live and that. So maybe after the next one, I'll start sending some invitations out. I'd love to have some of you on as a guest. So as I say, it'll be in all probability, it'll be after the third one, and then I'll start sending invitations out saying when you're free in that. So yeah, thanks for dropping in, peace. Thomas Pearson, hi bud, you're looking well, have a nice evening. Oh, thank you very much, Thomas. Yeah, thanks for dropping in, mate. Sophie's Retro Revival. Yeah, the Johnny Depp one. I was not a huge fan as they changed the story, but I know it was based on a graphic novel. Oh, here he is, the red drum of my prize draws, Mark. All right, Mark, Bushman Blue. Thanks for dropping in. You done, God, the boy done good, didn't he, in that draw? 3 times and second, yeah, first and second prize. I've sent your poster out today, by the way, Mark, so you should get it. I've sent it recorded delivery, so you should get it tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, you've got the look of the Irish, as I said. You really have. Yeah. Hi, Alan. I managed to remember your feed. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Mark. Yeah. And congratulations again. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Like when your name was drawn out, nice hat trick there. And as I say, second prize. Yeah. Fantastic. See. Movie Clicks. Johnny Depp is a wife beater. Oh, and you shouldn't be watching it. It's Retro Revival. Don't know anything about that. Movie Clicks, what modern horror film you like? Well, I like, as I said last time, I like Last Night in Soho. Thought that was very good. I like the Wolf Creek movies. Yeah, I like Terrifier, Art the Clown. like the Ring movies, you know, with Naomi Watts. I know they were made a couple of, you know, a couple of years ago, but I still rate them as fairly modern movies. There's been, on the other hand, there's been quite a few modern horror movies that I have. Well, if you've been watching me videos, you'll know I haven't taken too kindly to, you know, some truly awful movies. You know, watched one only last night actually. What was it called? Was it Ground Zero, See No Evil? Yeah. Oh, it was boring. Yeah, really boring. Yeah, I found myself falling asleep, you know, halfway through it. Oh yeah, there's been a terrible lot of bad horror movies and that. But yeah, as I say, like Terrifier, like Last Night in Soho. Good. Oh, not only is it a good horror thriller and the 60s music, it's a beautifully shot movie as well. And all the actors in it are first class. You know, particularly the main girl and that. You know, and Sandy, the girl from the 60s and that. So if you haven't seen Last Night in Soho, I highly recommend that you check that out there. Actually, on the hunt, guys, if any of you can put me in the right direction, I'm on the hunt for a slipcover of Last Night in Soho for me Blu-ray. So if any of you guys know of anybody who's got a spare slipcover, let me know. Yeah. Right. Moving on. Andy Howard. All right, Andy. Alan, do you ever think some movies should never be remade? For me, they should never redo The Exorcist. Yeah, I don't think they should redo The Exorcist. This is where they slip up, you know. A lot of these producers, they sort of like they remake these big names, these classic movies, and 95% of the time, you know, they're never as good as the original. You know, for instance, Psycho, you know, a very poor imitation of the original. Oh yeah, there's been others as well, and I believe Firestarter's coming out. Is it tomorrow? Yes, yeah, they've remade Firestarter as well. Yeah, I must admit it wasn't really one of my favorite Stephen King movies, and also the book I didn't really, because it was more of like a thriller. It was more of a sci-fi thriller. You know, this little girl, she can, you know, she can set things on fire. You know, just by thinking about it. Yeah, so I don't think I'll be I don't think I'll be checking that one out when it comes out on Blu-ray. But yeah, and Jaws, that's another one you should never remake. I know there's been a lot of spin-offs and that, you know, over the years and that, you know, Sharknado, movies like that, you know, but I don't think they should remake Jaws. You know, I mean, that was the biggest movie of 1975, and it still ranks up there. I don't know what position it ranks in as the all-time profitable movies. If somebody could enlighten me on that. But yeah, they should never remake Jaws. They should never remake The Exorcist. And they remade The Omen a couple of years ago as well, and he made a right botch of that as well. You know, they basically done the story as it was in the original Lee Remick, Gregory Peck movie in 1976. They remade the story, you know, they didn't really add anything different to it, and it fell flat on its face. Yeah, I've got that in the Omen box set, Scream Factory. But yeah, there's a lot of classic movies that should never be remade. Never. Let's have a look. Sophie's retro revival. All right, Sophie. Hearing your accent reminds me of my uncle. Sadly, he passed away, but it warms my heart. I'm sorry to hear that, Sophie. Yeah, very sorry to hear that. Yeah, Scouse accent does tend to stand out to a lot of people. Movie clicks. You're looking forward to Black Phone with Ethan Hawke. I've heard of this Black Phone, but I don't really know so much about it, to be honest. Movie clicks. It's kind of a horror, a cult movie, is it? Let's have a look at the next one. All right, Mark Bushman Blue. If they are going to remake a movie, then it should be films that flopped at the time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, like films that flopped at the time, they could contrary to what I've said, they could sort of like remake these flops and make them better than they were, you know, when they were first shown on the cinema. Yeah, good point, Mark. Yeah. Thomas Pearson. Hi, Thomas. In your opinion, which book that has been turned into a movie stays true to the story of the book? Oh, I'd have to think about that one. Salem's Lot stayed pretty true to the book, yeah. But the only thing with that in the original novel, Barlow was more like Dracula. He was like more human looking, whereas in the Salem's Lot movie with David Soul, he made him like this kind of, I've said this before, they made him this kind of Nosferatu figure, you know, with the pointed ears and the baldy head and that. But that stayed pretty true to the book. The Shining was, yeah, there was a couple of things he left out with that. I mean, like the original one with Jack Nicholson, that the ones with the hedge animals come to life, they left that out. But I know, from what I can remember, the one that he made in 1997 with Rebecca De Mornay, they put that scene in with the hedge animals and that. Yeah. So, yeah. So as I say, like, it just depends on the producer, really, if they want to tweak it and that. You know, sometimes the writer, you know, he's not too happy about that. You know, sometimes he doesn't like them tampering with the story and that. But then on the other hand, if it's all to the good, you know, I suppose they just go along with it, really. Well, I know Stephen King, when they made a movie of The Mist, he loved the ending, and he actually said, "Boy, I wish I'd have written that ending." You know, that very, very jaw-dropping, sad ending. You know, at the end of if you've seen The Mist, guys, you know what I mean. Yeah. Right. DVD and Film Bloke. Which horror movie do you think they should leave alone? No remakes, no sequels, etc. Well, The Exorcist, as we've just been discussing. I don't think they should remake. Trying to think now. I was going to say Frankenstein, but there's been a lot of remakes of Frankenstein. But Boris Karloff, for me, was the best Frankenstein monster. Dracula, again, nobody can come up to Christopher Lee. When he tried to remake Dracula umpteen times, I tell you what, I didn't like. The Dracula movie I didn't like was the one with Gary Oldman in. It was a very, very beautifully shot movie, but I did not like Gary Oldman as Dracula. I didn't like the top hat he wore. I didn't like his his facial features and that. And he just didn't scare me at all, you know. And out the werewolf movies, Lon Chaney Jr., as you can see from my t-shirts, a big Lon Chaney Jr. fan. He was the best Wolfman for me, so I don't think they should really touch the Wolfman, the original Wolfman. I know they did remake it with Anthony Hopkins in, and that Spanish guy Del Toro, is it? I can't remember his full name, but it was nowhere near as good as the Wolfman from 1941. You know, so those classic movies, really, to be honest, guys, I think they should leave them alone. You know, it's the same with the Haunting from the early 60s. You know, the one with Richard Johnson in. Did he made that? I think it was 1998 with Catherine Zeta-Jones in, and they spoke the story. Although I did like the house. You know, it was a lovely big gothic house and that, you know, but the sort of like the story faltered for me when he started putting these cheesy special effects in, where the bedpost started coming to life and talking and that completely ruined all credibility for me, guys. Just excuse me, I just have a swig. It is water, by the way. Thanks for coming along anyway, guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah, just move down to the comments now. So yeah, there's a lot of movies that I think they should definitely leave alone. Jaws, you know. Let's have a look. Sophie's Retro Revival. Hi, Sophie. I have bought the remake of The Omen. However, I have not seen the original. Or you want to see the original from 1976? That is a fantastic movie. It really is. Yeah, especially Billy Whitelaw in the role of Mrs. Baylock. Oh God, she is creepy, especially when she comes into the hospital to finish poor Lee Remick off. You know, I mean, Lee Remick's already been sort of like hurt badly by Damien. You know, if you've seen The Omen, you remember like when she's grabbing onto the banister rail and he's on a strike and that, and she falls down and that, and oh, she's creepy, that Mrs. Baylock in The Omen. Yeah, I even thought she was more creepy than Damien. You know, yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to see The Omen from 1976? A fantastic movie. Gregory Peck, he's really on the money playing the role. You know, it's the dad and that, and Lee Remick. Oh, she's lovely looking woman, Lee Remick, and a very, very, very fine actress as well. But you've got to see The Omen. You know, it's a fantastic movie. I like the sequels as well. I like Omen 2, and I like Omen 3 with Sam Neill, The Final Conflict. They done a fourth one with a little girl in. It was okay, but I wasn't crazy about it. And then, as I say, they remade The Omen. I think it was was it 2006 they remade The Omen? Very, very poor sequel. Oh yeah, you want to You want to watch the original Home. It's a fantastic movie, and a movie that every horror fan should own. Movie clicks. I think movie remakes just prove how lazy Hollywood is. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Now I've got I did a video a couple of weeks ago about this movie, this very rare movie called it. Was it the sweet sound of death? Yeah, the sweet sound of death. I think it was the sweet sound of death. Yeah, from the early 60s, and it's about this couple, this courting couple. They go into this graveyard, and he sort of like the girl makes a pact, and that the first one to die will come back. Well, you'd have to watch my video to find out more about it. This blonde girl and her boyfriend, they go into this creepy graveyard in the middle of nowhere, and she says like the first one to die will come back. Come back to the land of the living and that. Yeah, so I think that would definitely deserve a remake. It'd be lovely in color to see that in color. So if any producers are watching, check out the sweet. I keep thinking it's either the sweet sound of death or the sweet smell of death. But I watched it on Amazon Prime, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. So I said to myself, I've got to have the DVD. It's a fantastic little movie. I've never seen anybody review it on YouTube and that. It's one of these rare little gems. So I think that would definitely merit a remake. Yeah. But yeah, I take your point. Hollywood, they sometimes just want to we remake this, we remake that, and as 95% of the time, you make a complete botch of it. To be bluntly honest, in that. So, I mean, there's no excuse. There's loads of people sending scripts into Hollywood. They could have, if they really sat down and got some good script writers and really perused. I know there's a lot of crap being sent in, and that it's sort of like borrows from other movies, derivative scripts that are derivative from well-told yarns and that. But if they really got down and got their heads together, I think they could spot a nice little gem. And they could say, "Oh, this merits a movie," in that. Yeah, they can be lazy sometimes. Sometimes when it's like when they're doing the ending and that. I said this in my last live. They tack an ending on to sort of like a jump scare ending and that. And I think that's cheesy. That. Movie clicks. Stick with the original. The remakes are mostly dull and only for the general boring public. Yeah, I'd certainly echo that sentiment. DVD and film bloke. Bushman Blue. Actually, I think they should remake movies that never played to their full potential the first time around. Movies that could have been great, but we're underwhelming. Yeah, that's right. They could make a better job of them. Yeah, as I said that one before, the sweet sound of death. That would make a fantastic remake. It really would. You haven't seen it, guys. You want to check it out? If you're on Amazon, go to Amazon, type in the sweet sound of death. It's got another title as well. It's got a foreign title, but it's a fantastic little black and white movie. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Oh, another movie I don't think they should touch is Carnival of Souls. That is a cracking movie. If you haven't seen that one, I highly recommend Carnival of Souls. I think they should leave that well alone as well. I think, come to think of it now, did they do one in the late 80s of that? I'm not 100% sure, but it was rubbish. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it was total rubbish. 80s horror fan. Hi, Alan. Ah, yeah. Thanks for coming along. Nice to have you. Autopsy J. I found your channel from the Hammer House of Horror Review, and I've just subscribed. Oh, thanks very much. I'm currently uploading some Hammer House documentaries tonight. Oh, yeah. I look forward to seeing them. Yeah, thank you. Hiya, Peace, Placendo guy. Who do you think is the best current director? Oh, best current director. Oh, now you've got me, Peace. As I said in my last live, I like past directors. I like Hitchcock. I like Wes Craven. Current directors, I'm not really all that up on the directors of today, but as I say, the old favorites like Hitchcock, Wes Craven, Dario Argento, they're some among my all-time favorite directors. And I'm trying to think of a current one. John Carpenter, he's still making movies, isn't he? John Carpenter. I'm trying to think. I like Joe Dante. He's quite good. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, as I say, it's not a very easy question to answer that about current directors, but they're my favourites anyway. all-time favourites. DVD and film bloke. E. Bushman Blue. If a movie is perfect the first time around and it's timeless, there's no point remaking it. Exactly. Gina Walpole, Pet Sematary was very accurate too. Yeah, but I did not like that remake. I thought it was a load of crap. Oh, I thought to myself, I sat there watching. I thought, what the bloody hell am I watching here? It's not a patch on the original. You know, the original with the guy from the Munsters in. You know, he played the old guy. I liked that one best than that, but I did not like that remake. I thought it was an atrocious movie. Excuse me, I'm just having a swig. Yeah, I hated it. But yeah, as I say, like, you know, a lot of these classic movies, I think they should leave them alone, you know, because they just run the risk of making a complete dog's breakfast of them. Thomas Pearson, have you watched the Universal Monster movies in 4K? If so, what do you think of the upgrade? No, good question, because I have been contemplating getting them on 4K, but I've heard a couple of people saying, like, if you've already got the Blu-ray box set of the Universal Monsters, there won't really be all that much benefit of upgrading to 4K with them being black and white movies and with them being very old. But then you get other people saying that it's a big step up. So, but I mean, I know Psycho, I've just upgraded Psycho to 4K. Now, I watched a couple of reviews and that, and they were all glowing. They said, like, the 4K is absolutely stunning. So when I saw the Psycho 4K for only 13 quid on Amazon, I snapped it up. It's just arrived today. But this is it with black and white movies. You don't know really. You've got to sort of like, excuse me. You've got to watch a lot of reviews and that, you know, and then you've got to sort of like balance one lot against the other. And at the overwhelming majority say it is worth upgrading to 4K. Then and only then will I upgrade to 4K. But having said that, as I say, you know, it's very easy to see. I mean, as you know, I'm a big fan of Universal Monsters. It's very easy to be tempted. You know, when you see it in HMV, oh, Universal Monsters in 4K, I'll have that. But I believe it's quite expensive. It's about 59 quid. But, you know, I would like to see them in 4K. But having said that, if there's not that, you know, there's only sort of like a little bit of a difference, I think I'll pass on them. Luke is talking movies forever. All right, Luke. Hi, Alan, mate. How's it going? I'm here watching, pal. What's your favourite horror movie ever made, mate? Oh, now you're asking. My favourite horror movie. There's been so many. I've said this before, but if I was pushed, I'll pick two. I'll pick a black and white one. I'll pick a coloured one. Now, those of you familiar with my channel and my likes and dislikes, you'll probably predict the black and white movie I'm going to pick, and that is from 1931, and that is Frankenstein, starring the late great Boris Karloff. Said it loads of times. I first watched this movie, the very first horror movie I ever watched, back in the late 60s on the old black and white telly, and I was instantly captivated by how brilliantly Karloff played the monster. So many iconic scenes in that, you know, when Colin Clive first brings him to life and that, you know, it's alive, it's alive. Now I know what it feels like to be God, which I believe was a line that was deleted from the original. Yeah. So my all-time favorite black and white horror movie would be Frankenstein, starring the late great Boris Karloff. And my all-time favorite color movie, difficult one again, you know, very close between The Curse of Frankenstein and Dracula. But if I was really pushed, I'd have to say The Curse of Frankenstein from 1957, starring Peter Cushing. That was the first Hammer movie I ever saw in colour. So again, Frankenstein, but running very close to that is Dracula, 1958, starring Christopher Lee. They were the two movies that cemented Hammer's brilliance, you know, in the horror, in the British horror movie field, and that, you know, they really set the ball rolling for Hammer, you know, and they went on to produce, well, it goes without saying, doesn't it? They went on to produce many iconic movies, you know, quite a few Dracula sequels, quite a few Frankenstein sequels, and great standalone movies as well, like The Reptile, Plague of the Zombies, you know, movies like that. Yeah, so they're my two favourites. If I was pushed, as I say, Frankenstein, Karloff, and again, Frankenstein, Cushing. Oh, can I just add a third one in there? If you would have asked me about my all-time favourite horror anthology, I would say Tales from the Crypt from 1972. Fantastic. anthology movie. If you haven't seen it, and if you love horror movies, you've got to check that one out. It's fantastic, especially the one with Peter Cushing and his poor Arthur Grimsdyke. Oh, really sad. It's got a great balance there of horror and pathos. Yeah, fantastic. AC's horror fan. Would you agree films from 70s to about the 90s are just by far superior to modern stuff and have a feel to them that could never be replicated? Yeah, there's something, especially the 70s, there's something about those 70s movies that really holds me, you know, really holds me attention. And I've got most of me horror movies, a big portion of me horror movies are from the 70s. I've got quite a few from the 80s as well. But yeah, I've got fond memories of sitting down on Saturday nights when they had the double bill on BBC Two. They'd show a black and white one, they'd show a coloured one. And before that, I've also got fond memories of watching them on a Friday night, 70s and that, and Monday night, Appointment with Fear, going even further back, you know. So yeah, love the 70s movies. There's some cracking movies made, you know. Of course, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Amicus anthology movies, you know, The Legend of Hell House with Roddy McDowall. That's a great 70s movie. Halloween, the original Halloween, 1978, top class. The greatest Halloween movie ever made, starring Michael Myers. Oh yeah, those 70s to the 90s movies. Yeah, Silence of the Lambs was a good one from the 90s. Yeah, Silence of the Lambs. I like the first Nightmare on Elm Street from, it was at 1985. Robert Englund made his debut as Freddy Krueger. I like that one. Yeah, I like a lot of the Friday the 13th sequels that were made in the 80s and that. Oh yeah, great time. Yeah, and some good little movies in the 60s as well. You know, as I said before about The Sweet Sound of Death. Yeah, The Devil Rides Out, Christopher Lee, Hammer. Yeah, some great movies made in the 60s as well. Tell you what's a good one, is a good one from 1976, The House on Straw Hill. That's a great movie, that. It's more of a psychological thriller, but it's got Linda Hayden, who was in Taste of Blood, Dracula. Oh, it's a fantastic movie, that, The House on Straw Hill. Yeah, so if you haven't seen The House on Straw Hill, check it out. It's a fantastic movie. Let's have a swig. Get carried away when talking about horror movies. Nice. Movie clicks. Alan, your wallpaper is coming away from the wall, the top left. I'll have to get there. Yeah, you're very observant there, mate. Yeah. I'll have to get the old paste out and that. Yeah, something I'm not looking forward to. Maybe Dracula's been having a bite or something. Sophie's retro revival. How come you don't go to the cinema anymore? If I'm not being nosy, just don't go. No, just don't go. The last movie I saw at the cinema must have been, going back to the, it's a long time, going back to the 70s and that. It just never appealed to me, going to the cinema. Very expensive. Yeah, the last movie was, I think it was one of the On the Buses movies, with Reg Varney in. It was either that or Oliver Twist. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really much of a cinema goer. I like to watch all my films on the telly, on my Blu-ray player. Yeah, I'm not really one for going to the cinema. Yeah. I mean, my mum and dad always went to the cinema, and I got a couple of relatives who go to the cinema as well. But it's just something that doesn't really appeal to me. I like to watch all my movies in the comfort of my own home. And now that I've got a really fantastic 4K telly with a nice big screen, yeah, that's cemented me preference for watching movies at home all the more. Yeah. So expensive now, I believe, as I say, to go to the cinema. Just a minute. Just bear with me. Comments are just going a bit, what's the name now? Right. DVD and film bloke. Hiya, thanks for coming. If they were to remake The Exorcist, I think they should keep the possession aspect vague throughout. Yeah. Very, very creepy movie, that. Not the sort of movie to watch on your own at 12 o'clock at night. Of course, an absolute sensation when it was released in Britain in 1974. Andy Howard, do you prefer horror movies with a happy or sad ending? I like both. Yeah, I like both. And in regards to sad endings, there's been or there's been some really sad endings on some modern horror movies. I mean, any of you seen Funny Games with Naomi Watts, where the two boys in the white like cricket attire, sort of like invade? It's like a home invasion movie. And I don't want to, if anybody, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert now. So if you haven't seen Funny Games, you know, look away or turn your volume down. So I'm going to give away the ending. Yeah, they kill poor Naomi Watts and that, you know. I think they throw it into the river and that. That's a very sad ending, and the husband as well. It's a few years since I watched it, but that's got a very sad ending. Drag Me to Hell's got a sad ending. Again, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Drag Me to Hell, where she gets the piece of paper passed back to her, you know, it's a curse and that. And the ground opens up in the, I think it's the railway station, and she gets swallowed down to hell. That had a sad ending, yeah. And that movie Eden Lake, that had a really, really grim ending. Eden Lake, yeah. But yeah, as I say, I like both. I like horror movies with a happy ending, and I like horror movies with a sad ending. I don't mind. I've got no particular preference, you know. Some of those sad endings, they really pack a powerful punch sometimes. Like, you know, the producers and the writers, they don't show any mercy when you think the hero's going to get away in that, you know. And at the end up, the Wicker Man's got a very sad ending, you know. Poor Sergeant Howie. Well, if you've seen it, you know what I mean. He gets burnt in this big Wicker Man. Very, very sad ending. Yeah, and I believe what I've read a few things about the Wicker Man. They changed it to that ending because originally somebody suggested that he'd be saved at the last minute, Sergeant Howie. A police helicopter would come over and that, but they went with, well, obviously they didn't think that would be satisfactory, so they went with the original, you know, the ending, what we all know, the downbeat ending. Yeah. Why are you so nosy? Oh, here we go. Movie clips. That's a really funny film from Canada. Sophie's Retro Revival. I know Jason has the set of them. We'll have to watch them with him. Hi, Carl. Hi, Alan. What's your thoughts on Madhouse from 1981? Watched this and I didn't like it. Is this a different one? Is this because I've got a Madhouse with Vincent Price in, where he plays a horror actor. I don't think that's the one you mean, is it? This is another one, isn't it? Is this I'm not familiar with this one from 1981. Madhouse. I know there was one called Madman, but I'm trying to think now. 1981 Madhouse. Yeah, it doesn't ring an immediate bell with me, Carl. So if you could sort of like elaborate a little bit more on that. Any famous actors in it? You know, anybody like Christopher Lee in it, or you know, Peter Cushing, anybody like that? But as I say, when you said Madhouse, I immediately thought of the 1974 one where Vincent Price, he plays like a horror actor, you know. Yeah. Sophie's Retro Revival. Have you seen Sinister? Yeah, I liked it. The first one, only the first one. I didn't like the subsequent, the sequel. That's a decent horror, but ruined, but one pointless jump scare. I must admit, I haven't watched it for a while, Sinister, but yeah, I like the first one. I did not like the sequel. Load of tosh. Darren Burrows. Hiya, Darren. Hi, Alan. Good to see your channel growing. What's your favorite non-Argento Giallo films? Oh yeah, I must admit, I'm not really the best when it comes to recalling Italian directors, like who made what. As I said in my last stream, it's very easy to get mixed up with these Italian directors, because you might think Argento made one movie when in fact he made another. You know, you might think he made one, but in fact he didn't. It was someone like Mario Bava. You know, it's very, very easy to get them mixed up in that. You know, so getting back to your question, what's your favorite non-Argento Giallo films? I'm trying to think now, because I know Dario Argento made loads of Giallo movies, didn't he? Yeah. There's been a lot of Giallo films. Well, the directors, I haven't known who they were. I've just watched them and that, you know. And I've said to me mum and my friends and that, you know, that was very reminiscent of a Dario Argento movie. But as I say, strange directors and that, you know, don't really know them. Movie click. Sinister is rubbish and pointless of a film. Yeah, it's all down to personal opinion, isn't it? Stacey's here. Hi, Stacey. Okay. I generally don't like remakes, but there is one exception. and it's not a horror that I think could be very good, would be To Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, that's the one with Gregory Peck in, isn't it? Where he tries to get the black guy off and that, yeah, in court, yeah. I've seen that once, Stacey, yeah. It's a very, very good courtroom drama, yeah. And the little girl, if I can remember correctly, isn't she called Scouse? Yeah, that's a very good movie, that. Yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird, Gregory Peck. He plays Atticus. He plays Atticus Finch, doesn't he, the lawyer? Yeah, they might well remake that. You never know, because they're virtually remaking everything now, aren't they? You know, so yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they did remake To Kill a Mockingbird. That was actually one of it when I was doing my English literature at college. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee was one of the books that you know, the tutor recommended, you know, for us to study. Yeah, great. It's a great story, that. Sophie's retro revival. Well, Movie Clicks, that's your opinion. Movie Clicks, don't take that to, oh, here we go. Look, I'm not having, as I said before in me first stream, I'm not having any crap on this channel. If there's anyone wants to sort of like get involved in petty disputes, I've got no interest, so I'll just block you. So, you know, I'm just not having it. Hiya, Bryn. Horror Hands. Nice to have you along, mate. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Alan. John Carpenter and Joe Dante are two of my favorite directors too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. Well, of course, John Carpenter, Halloween. You know, Joe Dante, American Werewolf in London. You know, fantastic. That was The Howling. Was it Joe Dante done The Howling? Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I always get mixed up with those two movies, The Howling and American Werewolf in London. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Both great directors. Then I'd like the 4K of The Howling. I believe the picture quality is fantastic. Yeah, I've got the Scream Factory Blu-ray. You know, I've had that a couple of years now, but I've heard the 4K, The Howling, is the picture quality is fantastic. Yeah, so at some stage, if it comes down in price, I might say upgrade, you know, to that. Movie Clicks. I like The Mist. The ending was superb, one of the best. Oh yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so shocking as well. Yeah. Short story. I enjoyed the short story as well. Stephen King's short story. Movie Clicks. I wouldn't bother with 4K. It's utterly pointless and expensive. Trivial upgrade. It has no difference. Keep with your DVDs and don't fall for the lie. Yeah. Some people have said that, haven't they? There's not much difference in that, but then on the other hand, you've got people that says that there is a difference. So suppose again, it's a matter of what you know, if you're willing to take the sort of like step and see for yourself on that. It all comes down to opinion, I suppose, at the end of the day. Autopsy J's here. Hiya. I still watch the horror VHS I have upgraded to DVD and Blu-ray on some, but I prefer still watching my VHS. Yeah, a lot of people, funnily enough, a lot of people still watch VHS. I mean, when they first came out, the VHS tapes, I was forever. Once I'd got my membership card from the local video store, I was forever going down and renting 2 and 3 films a night and that, you know, on the way home from work, pop into the video stores and that. And I joined them all because the video stores in my area, they all had, I mean, like one shop had movies, what the other shop didn't have. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to broaden my range, you know, as much as possible. So yeah, I joined them all and that. I think I've still got a couple of membership cards somewhere in that. Yeah, from the 90s and that. Oh yeah, always renting the VHS tapes and that. Very, very expensive to buy though when they first came out, you know. And I got my first, I tell you, I got my first video recorder in January of 1986, and I was it was really made up. I remember going to Dixon's and that, you know, when I started the job, and I thought I thought to get myself a VH video now. I called into Dixon's in Liverpool and I went through all the paperwork and I said, right, you can take it now. Oh, as I made up. So bundled her up and I got a taxi from Liverpool, you know, all the way home and that. And my dad opened the door and he said, what have you got there? I said, it's a VHS video. Oh, he said. And then he said to me, well, yeah, Alan's got a video here. We're all made up in that. But then I had to wait though. I had to wait a day before I could start renting out, you know, in those, like when he first came out, the video stores. Well, in my area, you had to wait wait 24 hours before you could rent a tape house. But oh boy, was I made up. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's surprising. Like some people still collect VHS tapes. I've got rid of virtually all of them when I upgraded to DVD. But I've got one or two somewhere. I think Mark Bolan. I've got two of Mark Bolan's there. I'm a big Mark Bolan fan. I love Ride a White Swan and Get It On. And I've got his last TV show he made before he died in 1977. I've got it somewhere. Although I've got the DVD now. But yeah, and I've got what's the other one I've got? Oh, the 90 hits of the 60s. That was a big favourite of mine. I bought that in the early 90s, yeah. But as I say, I've got rid of all the other VH tapes and that long ago. Gina Walpole. Yes, I've never watched the remake. Fred Gwynne, yeah, he played the guy, didn't he? The elderly guy in Pet Sematary. Yeah, he's a fantastic actor. Fred Gwynne. Was it Judd Crandall, the character? Yeah, I love that Pet Sematary. Very sad though, where the little baby gets knocked over by the truck and that. Oh yeah, very gut wrenching seeing that. Hiya, Peace. I watched The Shallows on 4K the other day, and it looks superb. One of my favorite shark films. Yeah, I've got The Shallows, Piece. I've got the Blu-ray of that. I love that movie. Yeah, I haven't got the 4K, but I think that's one of the best shark movies ever made. Yeah, I love The Shallows. Yeah, lovely picture quality and a great story, and great main female protagonist. Yeah, I love The Shallows. Yeah. DVD and Film Bloke. The original Pet Sematary had songs by the Ramones. I'm not really familiar with the Ramones. I know they made one called Sheena as a Punk Rocker in 1977, but other than that, I couldn't tell you what else they sang. So the remake, which I've never seen, doesn't have a patch. Yeah. Say I'm not too familiar with the Ramones. Yeah. Hi, Stacey. This is not a bad shark movie piece. Yeah, it's a great movie. That, yeah, The Shallows. Movie clips. The Shallows is a boring film that has nothing going for it bar the lass in the swimsuit. Oh, no, I don't agree. I'm sorry. DVD and Film Bloke. I need to watch the Universal Hammer horrors. Oh yeah. You won't be disappointed. I mean, if you love your horror movies with a great story, great acting, and lovely gothic scenery, you won't be disappointed with those movies. They were the movies. I mean, I'm not the first person to say this. They were the movies that really got the ball rolling for the horror for the horror genre. In terms of the movies that were made subsequently in that. A lot of movies were, the stories were derivative from those great classics like Frankenstein, 1931, The Wolfman, 1941, and Hammer, Dracula, 1958, Curse of the Werewolf, Oliver Reed, The Gorgon, that's another good Hammer movie. Oh, yeah, fantastic, yeah. Movie clicks. Most films after the 90s just lack any sort of originality or intelligence that the classics had. Yeah. I can pick, and a lot of modern horror movies. I can pick virtually on one hand. The ones that just really impressed me. And that most of them I've been very, very disappointed with. And I've said this before. I mean, when I go to Asda every week and that and see what the new releases are, and you might get a new movie out that's got a fantastic looking cover, but when you get it home and stick it into your player, and you think to yourself, bloody hell, what have I just wasted £7 on here? It's a load of tosh. Oh yeah, that's happened many times, and sometimes the blurb can be very deceiving, and the trailer, they might put this fantastic blurb, terrifying and that, the new Exorcist, things like that, and when you watch it and that, you think to yourself, what have I just wasted my money on? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those old horror movies, they had class. And also, one big thing they did have, that was they had good actors. They had Peter Cushing, they had Christopher Lee, they had Vincent Price. Going back even further, Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney Jr., Bela Lugosi. They were what you call horror icons. And in my opinion, I don't think there's any real, ever since they passed away, those actors, I don't really feel that there's anybody to step fully into their shoes. I mean, I like John Jarvis. He plays the Wolf Creek villain, doesn't he? I like him. Who else is there? Robert Englund's okay, but I wouldn't really rave over him. I liked him in the first Freddy Krueger. I liked him in that, but I wouldn't really rave over him like a rave over Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. I would say a female actor, a female actress, the girl that was in the Hatchet movies. What's her name? The dark girl, Danielle Harris. I like Danielle Harris. She's a good horror actress. Yeah, she's made quite a few horror movies. Danielle Harris. I like Naomi Watts, as I said in the last stream. She was in The Ring. I like her. You know, of course, you've got Linda Blair, or she's sort of like, I don't know, she's in her 50s now, like 50s or 60s and that. Yeah. But as I say, the old horror movies, the old horror stars, they will always be number one for me. You know, they were the horror movies, and they were the horror stars that shaped my love of horror. I mean, I said it again. I said it in my live stream. Not only would I watch these movies on late night telly, I'd buy the horror magazines from the local news agents, and there's not many in Birkenhead, guys, that had those horror comics. You know, there was one that not too far away from where I lived, and used to have them in this rack and that, and it'd have these rare American comics in and that, and I'd buy 2 or 3 in that in one go. Yeah, oh yeah, I love the old classics, really do. Movie clicks. Unfortunately, some people will watch any old crap. Yeah. For example, I was watching this channel called Jason Brett. He just says, I bought this and that and the other, but he doesn't do many reviews. Can't comment on that. Steve Hemingway, Demonologist, Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist 70s. Yeah. Wasn't Rosemary's Baby made in 1968? Yeah, with Mia Farrow. Yeah. I know they've done a TV series of that, didn't they, Rosemary's Baby? The novel's fantastic, yeah. And what an ending, yeah. Let's jump a bit there, guys. Hiya, Bryn. Horror Hands. Nice to hear some love for House on Straw Hill. It's a brilliant movie, Bryn. I love it. Yeah, watched it quite a few times and that. Yeah, it's really typical British. It's a typically British 70s horror movie. The Hayden's fantastic in it. Yeah, I forget the name of the guy in it. Isn't he a French guy? He plays the author, the writer. Yeah, and it's a fantastic, guys. If you haven't seen The House on Straw Hill, I highly recommend it. Yeah, fantastic movie. Yeah. Great movie. Talking about 70s horror movies, psychological thrillers, Pete Walker, you check some of his movies out, like The House of Whipcord, and Bryn, if he's watched these movies, he'll echo what I'm saying. That, you know, The House of Whipcord's a good one. That's a great one, that, yeah. Pete Walker. Usually starts Sheila Keith in them and that, yeah. And then there's another one, The Flesh and Blood Show with Jenny Hanley, and that's a great one, that, where they're having the guy who was in Big Deal in the 1980s, played Robbie Box. He's this like theatre. He's organising this play in this theatre. I think it's Brighton Pier, at the end of the pier, in this big theatre. And all the cast are getting bumped off by this unknown killer. That's a great one, that, The Flesh and Blood Show, starring like Jenny Hanley. That's from that's from 1972. Yeah, he's a great Pete Walker. He really is, yeah. Made some fantastic movies. It's a good one he made where all the horror stars are in, The House of the Long Shadows. Watched that recently, yeah. It's great to see all the horror stars all together in one movie, but of course we've got that ending. But having said that, I do enjoy revisiting the movie every now and then, yeah. Great. I love as I say, I love seeing all the horror stars all together, you know, in one movie. Fantastic. Lucas talking movies forever. The Shallows is brilliant on Blu-ray. To Peter, mate, it's a brilliant movie too. Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic movie. Movie clicks. What is your favourite horror comedy? That's easy. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein from 1948, followed closely by American Werewolf in London from 1981. They're my 2 all-time favourite horror comedy movies that I can watch again and again and again without getting bored. I've said it before about these great movies. Abbott and Costello, the monsters played it for real. You know, they played it straight. There was no stupid, corny wisecracks and that, like in some of the Elm Street movies. And the American Werewolf in London, although there was some facetious remarks, the horror was played straight. So they got the balance right in both movies. They got it right in Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, and he also got the balance right in American Werewolf in London. Yeah, love those 2 movies. They're great. Oh, Carry On Screaming. Oh, here, missus. That's another famous horror comedy of mine. I hope to do a review of that. I've never done a review of Carry On Screaming. Yeah, so many great scenes in that. Frying Tonight. Kenneth Williams, and of course you've got Fennell Fielding in that tight Morticia-like red dress, and that it's a set many a male blood pressure soaring. Yeah, Harry H. Corbett as the copper. He turns into Mr. Hyde character. Oh yeah, I'll have to do a review of Carry On Screaming. I love that. Yeah, so they're me three favorite horror comedies: the Abbott Costello one, American Werewolf, and Carry On Screaming. Geek Legion of Doom. Hiya, Leo. You okay? Thanks for coming along. Yeah, evening, Alan. What's been your favourite blind buy of 2022 so far? My favourite blind buy. Well, I've had a couple of low budget horror movies. I think you remember me talking about the one with the doll, the Humpty Dumpty. That was quite a good one. Yeah. And then the sequel to the other one, the Jack in the Box, that was a blind buy. Yeah. Yeah, it's there's been a few actually. I'm just trying to think. Superhost. I like Superhost. That's a good one. Yeah, where the couple they want to get sort of they want to increase their YouTube viewers. So they go to, well, if you've seen Superhost, you know what I mean. Yeah. So they go to this house and that, and of course there's this psycho woman there, and all hell breaks loose. I like Superhost. Yeah. But then on the other hand, there's a lot of blind buys where I've been thoroughly, well, of course, if you've been watching my channel, I've been thoroughly disappointed with, and I haven't pulled any punches in describing me dissatisfaction with them. Yeah, good question. I tell you what, I have been following on from that question, Leo. What I have been disappointed with, I've been disappointed in a lot of the Shudder original releases and that. You know, been very disappointed. Especially one called Caveat. Yeah, I watched recently. I didn't like that one at all. Hiya, Peace, play Hendo Guy. Any other 4Ks you'd recommend, Alan? I'm trying to think now. Well, just moving away from horror for the moment. The Spaghetti, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm getting them all on 4K. I've got the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but I'm waiting for it. I've actually pre-ordered a fistful of dollars, and for a few dollars more, because I believe they've done a great job with the 4K restoration. Yeah, I'm trying to think now. I've got a lot of. I'm building my 4K. I'm building my 4K collection up gradually. So I'm going to do a video soon of the 4Ks I've amassed so far. So you'll be seeing all my 4Ks what I've collected. I've got The Bears on 4K. I'm hoping to get more Hitchcock movies. I've got Psycho today. I'd love to get Last Night in Soho on 4K because I absolutely love that movie. But a lot of the 4Ks, most of them I haven't watched yet. I haven't watched the Halloween ones, believe it or not, and I believe they're absolutely stunning. The ones that released last autumn. So I've got to get through all them. Yeah. So once I start getting through all my 4Ks, I'll do a review of them and that. Yeah. Good question. Gina Walpole. Hiya, Gina. Thanks for popping in. Love the ending to the Medusa Touches. That's the one with Richard Burton in, isn't it? Yeah, and Lee Remick. Yeah, I like that movie. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, Richard Burton. Yeah, and Lee Remick. Yeah, I've got that one in my collection. Hiya, Carl. Madhouse is an Arrow release, Alan. Twin sister and a killer dog that she controls. Oh, I think I know the one you mean now, Carl. Yeah, I've watched it. It's been a while since I watched it. Yeah, it's quite good. Yeah, it's got a bit of a twist to it, hasn't it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Arrow release. I've got that one. Yeah. Movie clips 4K is a waste of time, as I keep saying. That's my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. A lot of people swear by it. Some of the 4Ks are absolutely stunning. Sorry, but there's a lot about it. Oh, not interested. Darren Burrows, what's your favourite thriller TV series episodes? The Brian Clements one. One Deadly Owner with Donna Mills is a big favourite of mine. I spoke about this in my previous live stream, where she buys this big white Rolls Royce and it's haunted. Somebody's been murdered in it years ago. I love all of them, but that's one of my favourites. And the one that The Room at the Top of the Stairs, that's a good one as well. Yeah, I'm trying to think what the other ones were. The one with the Carnation Killer, that's quite a good one. Yeah, the guy that was in Man About the House who played Robin's brother, he plays the Carnation Killer. That's a good one. Oh yeah, Dennis Swartzman was in one. Oh yeah, while we're on the subject of Dennis Swartzman, I was very sad to hear, you know, of his passing at the weekend. And that Dennis Swartzman, it was such a big staple of my viewing, you know, TV viewing in the 70s, in the Sweeney, and then he played Terry McCann in The Minder, a fantastic actor. And I've got 3 Dennis Swartzman movies I'd recommend: Up the Junction, The Scars of Dracula, and Thrice. 3 great Dennis Swartzman movies. I might do a review actually of them in the near future. My 3 favorite Dennis Swartzman films. If you haven't seen them, guys, I highly recommend you check them out. Oh yeah, very, very sad news about Dennis Swartzman. He was a great actor. He was a real lad, you know, Jack the Lad, wasn't he? A real tough guy, and he actually played. He had a good distinguished career because I think he was in Just William, wasn't he? As a little boy, he was in that. And he had a couple of, I think he was in theatre shows as well. And of course, first time I saw him was playing Detective Sergeant George Carter in The Sweeney. He was tough in that. And then of course, the late 70s Minder with George Cole. Love Minder. Fantastic. See all the things he got up to, you know, for Arthur and that. Oh yeah. Rest in peace. Listen, mate, I can't get the words out. Rest in, nearly said a naughty word then. Rest in peace, Dennis. Yeah, you've left a great legacy. Yeah, and of course he was in New Tricks as well, wasn't he? Yeah, one of his last TV series. Yeah. Very sad news about Dennis. He's a great actor. Hiya, Tony Crosby, evening, Alan, and guys and girls. Yeah, thanks for popping in. Movie clicks. Jason Britt needs some new material. I buy this. Well, not interested in petty grapes. I Gina Walpole. Yeah. Oh yeah, my family rented a video player in 1983. First video I bought was a Monster Club. Yeah, that's the one with Vincent Price in, isn't it? Yeah, that's great, that one. John Carradine. Yeah, he's got this. He's in like this nightclub and they're all monsters, aren't they? And B.A. Robertson's in it, who sang Bang Bang in 1979. He's performing, isn't he? Scotch chap with the black curly hair. I love B.A. Robertson. Yeah, I like him singing To Be or Not to Be. I love that one, To Be or Not to Be. Bang Bang. Yeah, in the summer of 1979. Yeah. He's great, B.A. Robertson. Yeah, and he made another one as well, Cool in the Caftan. Yeah, I think he's still going. I think he's still making records now, B.A. Robertson. Just have a little swig. That's a great movie, that The Monster Club. Yeah, Vincent Price, he plays a tongue-in-cheek, but nevertheless, there's some pretty disturbing scenes of horror in that, in the stories. Yeah, great framing story in the nightclub. Yeah. Hi, Carl. Great memories you shared, Alan. Remember Dixon's? I love the VHS days. Yeah, I was always in Dixon's, Carl. Yeah, love Dixon's and that, and Curry's as well. Yeah, I remember around about 1985, I went into Curry's in Birkenhead, and I got me first ever, you know, the big, did they call them ghetto blasters? They had like 2 speakers, and they had the radio and the CD player all in one. Lovely big red shiny one I got. Oh yeah, God, the memories are coming back now. Hiya, Luke. Lucas talking movies forever. I have the fog. I have the fog in 4K, but I haven't brought myself to watch it yet. Have you ever seen it? If so, have you watched it 4K? If you have, what did you think of the 4K? And would you say it's brilliant in the original? I watched the 4K on Blu-ray, and to be honest, it's not one of my favorites Carpenter movies, The Fog. I thought it was quite slow and boring, to be honest. You know, I wasn't too keen on The Fog at all. I preferred the novel The Fog by James Herbert, which is it's an entirely different story, because in the Herbert novel you get this fog coming out the ground, like green fog, and it drives everybody mad. Whereas in the movie The Fog, that's about pirates, isn't it? Yeah, and I think Jamie Lee Curtis is in it, isn't she? Yeah. I must admit, I was expecting, when I first watched that, with it being a Carpenter movie, I was expecting great things from it. But when I sat down and watched it, I thought, God, oh, this is boring. This, yeah. So yeah, I'm not too keen on The Fog. Just scroll down here, guys. Just bear with me. Hi Tony Crosby. I'm a big glam rock fan since the 70s. Same here, mate. Love Bowie, Slade, Bowie and Roxy music. Yeah, Grace. Yeah. One of my vivid memories of the 1970s was first seeing Bolan on Top of the Pops, you know, when he sang Get It On and Ride a White Swan. Oh, fantastic, yeah. And then Slade, you know, I love Slade, I still do. And ABBA, love ABBA. Yeah, all those glam rock. Do you remember Kenny, The Bump? They were quite good. Kenny, yeah. Guys and Dolls, they weren't really glam rock. They came out about 1975. They sang There's a Whole Lot of Lovin'. I had all them on the KTEL, you know, anybody old enough to remember the KTEL LPs, but you get like the stars and you get like you get the faces in little circles like that. Yeah. Oh, glam rock. Yeah. I've always got my glam rock. I've always got my glam rock tunes on, whether it's YouTube or my CD player. I love Bolan. Yeah. Slade. All them. Yeah. Oh yeah. Susie Quattro was a big favourite of mine. Can the Can, Devilgate Drive. Yeah. Fine singer, and she's still going today. She's still doing tours today. Yeah, I remember when she was a judge on was a Pop Island, American Pop Island in Cowell. When Cowell done the show in America, she was a judge in one season. Yeah, I love Susie Quattro. Yeah, fantastic. Devilgate Drive, that was a big hit in early 74, if my memory serves me correctly. But Slade, yeah. Oh, well, Noddy Older, he must be as pleased as punch having his pension with that. It's Christmas. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Yeah, he gets his pension every December when that's played, I believe. Yeah, oh, fantastic, Noddy. And I remember the hat we wore with all the mirrors on. Oh yeah, so if you're watching Noddy, you give us glam rock fans some fantastic memories. Yeah, you're an absolute icon of pop music. Yeah, oh yeah, love me glam rock. I watched Hereditary. And it was the biggest pile of rubbish I've seen. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on Hereditary, but I did want to like it. I first saw it like on the bus, you know, on the when they have these big promotional posters on the side of the buses. Hereditary, the new Exorcist. I thought, oh, I'll have to check that out. But when I watched it, boy, was I disappointed. There's only one real scene that shocked me, and that was the decapitation scene. A little girl gets an edge sliced off. But other than that, I'm afraid it didn't do much for me at all, so I didn't keep it in my collection. Yeah, very disappointing. Hereditary. It's one of those Marmite movies you either like it or you loathe it, and of course I loathe it. So yeah, say no more. Autopsy J, just jumping on the remake convo. I'm a huge fan of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I thought the remakes and the prequels are okay. Up to 3D, anything after that's awful, especially the new one. I didn't like that latest one. Was it Leatherface? I didn't like that. I fell asleep halfway through. There's only one Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie I like, and that is the 1974 original. That is a fantastic, and I mean a fantastic movie, guys. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I mean, most horror fans surely have seen that by now. But if there's any of you among you that haven't seen the original, get yourself a copy, rent it out. It's a fantastic movie, very gritty, very raw. And Leatherface was such an iconic villain, you know, especially the part where he opened the door and that, you know, and the head and that, and dragged them in and that, put them on the, the hook and that. Oh, yeah. And of course, the scene with the hammer grandpa and that. Oh, and did she never stop screaming, did she? When she ran out the house and that, and the truck pulled up, and Leatherface was after her with, oh, there's so many memorable scenes in that movie. That was an absolute masterpiece, I thought. And a lot of people thought that was true. Yeah, because, well, if you've watched the movie, you'll know what I mean. They say about this actually happened and that. I think that was a kind of a gimmick to sort of draw people in and that, but they didn't really need a gimmick because that movie was fantastic. And I would rate that movie, aside from all the Hammer films and the Universal, I would rate that movie in my all-time top 10 horror movies, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, the remake was okay. It was okay. Yeah, but I love the original. Fantastic. Yeah, can't beat that. Right, scrolling down, guys. Just bear with me. Just jumped a bit here. Coming in thick and fast now, the comments. Just trying to keep up them all. Yeah. Autopsy J. I only watched 3D for that Alexandra. Is that Alexandra Daddario? Don't know them. Chestnut 7. Hi, Alan. Hi, yeah. Thanks for coming along. Nice to have you. Nice to have you. Yeah. Luke is talking movies forever. Hi, Luke. And you talking about, is that Physio? You mean Psycho, presume? I have it on 4K too, but I haven't brought myself to watch it yet. But I've looked at the transfer and it's fantastic quality. I'm looking forward to watching Psycho on 4K. One of my all-time favorite movies. Yeah, that Brit dude is just a channel who wants money and doesn't. I'm not interested. These will be comments like that will be totally blanked and even blocked. Bushman Blue, do you watch Talking Pictures? I don't, Mark. No, they have some fantastic horror classics every Friday night. I'll have to check that out, Mark. Talking Pictures, yeah. Somebody mentioned that before about that Talking Pictures, yeah. Isn't that the one with Carolyn Monroe in? I'll have to watch that. Tony Crosby, hi Tony. Pete Walker has done some really great horror movies. I love The Comeback. Yeah, that's a great one. The Comeback with Jack Jones. Yeah, Jack Jones and Frightmare. That's a great one. Frightmare. Oh yeah, the one where she reads the cards and that. Oh, she's a cannibal. They were those Pete Walker movies of the 70s, guys. They were fantastic. They really were. If you haven't seen any of them, I'd highly recommend that you check them out. They're great. Typically British in that. Great actors. Sheila Keith played a big part in them, and Pete Walker was such a consummate director. He really was. Yeah. Oh, they're great. I love Pete Walker. Let's move down. Chestnut 7 was just going to say Carry On Screaming. Yeah, great movie. Gina Walpole. Hi, Gina. Which is your favourite, The Addams Family or The Munsters? I like both of them. Although I have to confess, I haven't seen every episode of them. I saw the odd one when I was younger. I saw the Addams Family movies. I think it was in the 90s. I wasn't too keen on them. You know, I prefer the original ones. Yeah. Excuse me, I just have a swig. Yeah, I say I wasn't too keen on the Addams Family movies, but I like the series. Fred Gwynn was great as Herman Munster. Darren Burrows. There are some great UK thrillers back in the day. Twisted Nerve is one we would like to see on Blu-ray. That was the movie I was trying to think of last week when I said there's one with Hayley Mills in. You know, it was really good psychological thriller. Also starring, I think it's Billy Whitelaw and the chap who played Vanderbilt, Barry Foster. Yeah, that's a great movie. That it really is. Yeah, Twisted Nerve. So if there's anybody from Arrow or anywhere watching, get that out on Blu-ray. It really deserves a really good Blu-ray release. Twisted Nerve. It's a great movie. Tell you another great movie from the 60s is The Shuttered Room, starring Oliver Reed. That's a great one. That and Carol Lindley. Yeah, I won't say too much about it, but it's a great movie. It really is, and that, you know, really creepy and that, you know, this house set in the countryside and that, and oh yeah, it's a fantastic movie. That Flora Robson's in it as well. She plays really creepy character in it, and the lovely Carol Lindley. Oh yeah, I highly recommend that one, The Shuttered Room. That's another one that deserves a Blu-ray release, The Shuttered Room. Yeah, I've got the DVD of it, and I've got a double DVD. I've got that, and I've got it with Roddy McDowall where he brings that golem back to life. Yeah, great double bill, but I'd like to see both of them on Blu-ray. So hopefully they will get a Blu-ray release. Yeah, I would like to. I think I will actually. I think I'll do a video. All these movies that I'd like to see a Blu-ray release and maybe circulate it to some of the companies like Arrow, you know, Vinegar Syndrome and that. I say the movies I'd like to see on Blu-ray, and then, you know, you never know, fingers crossed, they might release them. Yeah, I'd love to see The Shuttered Room on Blu-ray. Love that movie. Lewis Clark. Hiya, Lewis. Blue Underground 4K of Zombie Flesh Eaters. Yeah, great picture quality. Yeah, definitely. Chestnut 7, Darren Burrows, yeah, and Deadly Strangers. Frenzy's a cracking movie. That's the one Barry Foster in. Yeah. Oh yeah. He plays the necktie killer. Oh yeah. That's one of Hitchcock's. It was one of his last movies, wasn't it? Frenzy. Yeah, he came to Britain to film that. Oh yeah, Barry Foster. And you know what I like about that, aside from the horror, I've said this before, with the inspector who was investigating the case of the necktie killer. His wife keeps serving these crappy meals, really foul, disgusting meals. And when she pushes the meal under his nose and that, he looks at, oh, you should. The expression on his face is priceless. Yeah, like, I'm not going to eat that. I think in one scene, I think he does. It's a while since I watched the movie, but I think he does attempt to eat it and he pushes it aside. Yeah, really disgusting dishes I made especially for you, dear. Oh yeah, that's a great comedic counterbalance to the horror in that movie. Hitchcock got that right. He was really on the money. Well, he's on the money in all his movies, but he was really on the money with Frenzy. With the humor, with the detective inspector, and then the horror of Barry Foster. Killing the women and that with the tie and that. Great movie, Frenzy. Yeah. Set in London. Great opening as well. No bad language on this channel, please. I'm not having. If there's any bad language, I'm going to block you right away. I don't want any swearing or anything like that on this. This is purely a chat for movies. I'm not interested in anything like that at all. It'll just go right over my head, I'm afraid. I think some people go a little bit too far with the profanity. Some people might like it. You might enjoy that. I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I swear myself, like, when I'm in a mood, but I think there's a time and place for that. I don't like. I mean, every other word all the time and that. It doesn't sound very nice. So I'm not interested in anything like that. Just talk about movies, movie clips. It's about films, not about subs. This is what a lot of these movies as well, while we're on the subject of bad language. I don't like a lot of these movies. It's F and this, F and that, F and that. Nearly every second word is F and this, F and that. I mean, don't they ever get fed up with putting this profanity? I know they're trying to portray real life and that. And in some cases, you've got to have some swearing in. But some of them are just swearing for the sake of swearing, especially in the American movies. These teenagers, some of the language is I mean, I'm broad-minded, don't get me wrong, I've worked with I've mixed with all sorts of people who swore like dockers and that. And I mean, as I say, when I'm in a mood, I do swear myself, but there's a time and a place for it, especially if kids are watching. You don't want to be putting a movie on for your kid and subjecting them to that sort of sort of like crap. It's, as I say, a lot of these horror movies now, they use a lot of profanity and at the expense of a storyline. So yeah, so this is another thing I don't like about a lot of these horror movies. There's too much profanity in them. Yeah, so that I'll rest it there now. I've gone on a bit too much about that. We're all entitled to our own opinion about swearing. I will never swear on my channel because I know, for one thing, kids could be watching. It doesn't sound very nice, and I don't really enjoy some of these videos where every word out their mouth is foul. It just doesn't appeal to me. Sorry. Back to the movies. Gary the Blu-ray addict. Hello, great to see you live. All right, Mace. Yeah, nice to have you along, Mace. Hiya, Peace. Yeah, Playtendo guy. Very sad news about Dennis Swartzman. Yeah, he's a great actor, Peace. Yeah, I loved him. Yeah, I loved his movies and I loved his TV series. Yeah. I enjoyed the Sweeney films he did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was a great actor, Dennis Swartzman. Yeah. Yeah. And as I say, those three movies, what he made, The Scouser, Dracula, the one with Susan George and Fright, and the other one, Up the Junction. He's very young in that. That's a great one. That if you like your kitchen sink movies, you like Ken Loach movies like that, you'll enjoy Up the Junction. Yeah. Susie Kendall's in that one as well. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very sad about Dennis Swartzman. He's a great actor. As I especially loved him playing Terry McCann in Minder. Darren Burroughs, Chestnut. Yeah, I loved those two as well. I just saw Deadly Strangers as a DVD release. Walk on, always believe. Watch it, Alan. Speaking of horror comedies, please check out Tormented 2009, Doghouse, Fanged Up, Inbred. Inbred's good. Seeing that. Idle Hands, Severance, Hatchet Once a Foot. I like the Hatchet movies. Yeah, Severance, isn't that the one where Is that the one where he takes them out to, the boss takes them out to what's the name, at a team building thing in the woods? Is that the one, Severance? I think I've seen that one on the horror channel. That's okay. Tony Crosby, I love the TV series Armchair Theatre. Yeah. And the one about the faceless nun in the attic. I haven't seen Armchair Theatre series for years, Tony. I'd like to get that on DVD, actually. Yeah. Yeah, Armchair Thriller as well. Yeah, they made some good little episodes in those series. Yeah, I'd say Brian Clements' Thriller is one of the best. And if you've been watching me videos, that series called Beasts, where they had an animal each week. You know, it's stories relating to an animal. You know, and that one with the poltergeist, the ghostly dog in the supermarkets, that's a fantastic one. It really is. Yeah. So if you watch me video Beasts, you'll see more. You know what? You know, more of my thoughts about that series. Yeah, great series, Beasts. I like the ghost stories for Christmas as well. They're good. Nice. Just making sure we don't get any more trolls on. Hit the block button. Oh, you just bear with me. Chestnut 7. Dennis Swartzman, loved him in Minder. Yeah, I have Up the Junction and obviously Scouser Dracula. Yeah, rest in peace, Dennis. Yeah, I'd certainly echo that. Yeah, yeah. Very sad news. Yeah, really sad. Yeah, he's a great actor, Dennis Swartzman. Tony Crosby, Ito. Up the Junction is one of my favourites. Love Adrian Poster and that. Yeah, Adrian Poster's in that, isn't she? Yeah, yeah. And as I say, Susie Kendall, one of my all-time favourite glamour girls. Yeah, yeah. She starts off. She got her hair long when she first starts off, and then she gets it cut. But I think it's a wig. She gets it. Gets a new hairstyle, doesn't she? When she starts going out with Dennis Swartzman's character. Yeah, but it's definitely a wig. Yeah, because she's always has her hair long in her movies and that. Oh yeah, love Up the Junction. Yeah. What's the name's in it as well? Isn't he? Michael Robbins out of On the Buses, isn't he? Isn't he the first boss she goes to when she's looking for a job? Yeah, he's very abrupt with her and that. He's very short. Love Michael Robbins. He was great as Arthur in On the Buses. Don't talk about my operation. Yeah, I love On the Buses. Fantastic. Yeah, I love Up the Junction. Never read the book, the story though, but it's a fantastic movie. Andy Howard. Hiya, Andy. Monster Club is a great movie, and B.A. Robertson is so underrated. Yeah, yeah, I used to like B.A. Robertson. Yeah, he's a great singer. Always on top of the pops and that. You know, as I say, it's To Be or Not to Be, and Bang Bang, yeah, in August 79, if my memory serves me correctly, yeah. He's great, B.A. Robertson. Chestnut 7. Darren Burroughs' Deadly Strangers is on DVD. Yeah, is that the one? Is that the one with the? No, that's the Deliberate Stranger. Is it Ted Bundy? No, that's a different one, isn't it? Deliberate Stranger. This is Deadly Strangers. I think I saw that actually in the 90s on VHS. Yeah, wasn't it in 2 parts? No, I'm thinking of the other one, aren't I? The one with Mark Harmon in Deliberate Stranger, wasn't it? Yeah, get those two mixed up. Yeah. Thomas Pearson. Hi, Thomas. Great TV series which I want to own is Kolchak the Night Stalker. It's funny you should say that because I've been after that for weeks. Yeah, it's so expensive though. They made 2 movies as well. I've seen the first one about the vampire, but I haven't seen the one where he goes after the Strangler. But I want that series so badly, I really do. So I'm going to try and put the money together and get that because I believe it's got shades of the X-Files as well. You go and Supernatural, you know, with the two lads who go after the 2 brothers, aren't they? Go after demons and that and ghosts and that every week. Well, this is pretty similar. It's sort of like a forerunner to those series. So yeah, I definitely want that series, but it's gone up to it. Last time I looked on was it Amazon? It got up to 71 quid, which is too dear, you know. So hopefully it'll come down in price, and I'll order that on Blu-ray. Night Gallery is a series I got for Christmas on Blu-ray, and I believe they're bringing out Night Gallery 2. I think it's around about is it July or August? Yes, I'll definitely be getting that Night Gallery. Yeah, that's a fantastic series. Yeah, introduced by the late great Rod Serling of Twilight Zone fame. Yeah. Oh, Peter Cushing's here. Not the Peter Cushing, of course, but Peter Cushing as what you sit on. Hiya, Peter. You're all right. I always mix up B.A. Robertson with B.A. Baracus. Don't know him. Never heard of B.A. Baracus, mate. Andy Howard, Tony Crosby, I'm getting on a bit. I fancied Adrian Poster in the 70s. You're never too old to rock. What's the old saying? There might be snow on the roof, but there's plenty of fire in the grate. Darren Burrows. Hiya, Darren. You all right, mate? Chestnut. Yes, check on Amazon UK. Wow HD. I don't know if any of you ever buy off Wow HD. They have some good bargains and that now and again. So you'll always check Wow HD as well. Yeah. Yeah, and Film Treasures as well. That's a company what Carl recommended to me, a Carlinio 09. That's great that you get free postage and packing. Yeah, so just keep watching those websites. Yeah, because you might get any particular series what you want. You might get them on there and that, you know, and then you just send off for them. Then you don't have to pay any. Well, for Film Treasure, you don't pay any postage and packing. Hi, Stacey. Do you remember how much DVD? Do you remember how much DVDs first came out? There were only about 7 titles available, and they were about £20, if my memory serves me right. Yeah. From what I can remember, when they first came out, they were quite expensive, the DVDs, just like the VHS videos now. But of course, as the years went on, they gradually came down in price, so that now, if you're lucky, you can get a DVD for about, especially in the HMV sale. What's currently going on, you can get DVDs for about £2.99, sometimes £1.99 if you're very lucky. Oh yeah, they have come down in price of DVDs, yeah, but yeah, when they first came out, they were quite expensive, Stacey. Yeah, it's like the 4Ks. I presume they'll start coming down in price as well, along with that house and that. Yeah. Chestnut 7, Darren Burrows, cheers, I will have that soon. I recall, I remember my first ever DVD. It was called The Night Flyer. That's the one. That's the Stephen King story, isn't it? With the vampire in the toilet and that. Yeah. And isn't it a reporter or something goes investigating? Yeah, I seen that a few years ago. The Night Flyer. Yeah, pretty good story. Yeah. Something like it sort of like brings a kind of original aspect to the vampire theme, set in an airport and that. Yeah. Remember The Night Flyer? Yeah, it's a good story. Walk On, Always Believe, higher. Susie Quattro was gorgeous back in the day. She was also in an episode of Minder. She was indeed in an episode of Minder. I remember, didn't she play Terry's girlfriend? Yeah, I remember in Minder. Yeah, and oh yeah, I love Susie Quattro. Yeah, 48 Crash, Devilgate Drive. Yeah, and later on, She's in Love with You. All them. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and if you can't give me love. I think it was around about 1978. If you can't give me love, yeah. Oh yeah. She's great, Susie Quattro. Yeah, she's a big fan of Elvis as well, by all accounts. Thomas Pearson, hiya Thomas. The Sweet and Slade were my favourites. Yeah, I love the Sweet as well. Yeah, Blockbuster, Wigwam Bam. I had the Sweet's biggest hits. Yeah, I bought that in 1974. I bought that. Yeah, great. Some of the rarer ones as well are good on the Sweet ones, like Chop Chop. That's a good one. Yeah, and the Spotlight, where the guy's working on the Spotlight and his girl's going to a dance hall and he's warning her, you know, you're going to the dance tonight, my dear, but be wary. You're going with a boy, but I'm going to be on the Spotlight. That's a real good song. Nah, yeah, that fella's working on the Spotlight and he's watching her every move. She doesn't sort of like two-time him. Yeah, Papa Joe's a good one. Yeah, the Sweet. And later on, as they progressed more, they went more hard rock, like Teenage Rampage. They went more into the hard rock, didn't they? Which I didn't mind, because I like some of the hard rock movies and that. Hard rock singles. Yeah. Out the 16s in a summer '74. That was a good one. The 16s. Yeah. There's so many. Yeah, Blockbuster, Wigwam Bam, Papa Joe, Little Willie. Oh, Mrs. Little Willie won't come home. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love the Sweet. Yeah, do great. Yeah, Brian Connolly had a powerful voice, didn't he? Yeah, blonde guy, blonde hair down to here and that. It was sad what happened to him. Yeah. Oh yeah, they were great, the Sweet. Yeah, and I think Andy Scott. I think he's got his own band now, and he's still touring. Yeah. Oh, they were great, the Sweet. Big staple of my 70s, teenage years. Tony Crosby, Ito. Alan, there is a really excellent book on glam called Children of the Revolution. Well worth checking out. I'll watch out for that. Thanks for that, Tone. I'll watch out for that. Yeah, Grace. Yeah, I tell you what, I did read about 2 years ago, Dave Bill's biography. You know, he was in Slade, the guy had the long hair. Very good. Yeah, enjoyable. Yeah, really enjoyed it. I haven't read Don Powell's because he's wrote one as well, hasn't he? The drummer in Slade. He had that very nasty accident, car crash, wasn't it, in 73? Yeah, he wrote his life story. I'll have to check that one out. Oh yeah, I used to love Slade. Yeah, at the very first Slade album I bought was called Slade-est. Fantastic album, yeah. While Winds Are Blowing, that's a good one. I bought that when I first started me high school in September 1973. I bought that. I went down to Rox Records in Birkenhead. You know Birkenhead, everybody live in Birkenhead. You know the Birkenhead Market, the old Birkenhead Market Streets. They had a little stall there called Rox Records. And when I saw it, I thought, oh, Slade, I'm having that. You know, and it was so refreshing as well after buying a Top of the Pops LP that didn't have the original artists on. I was doing me nuts. I bet you know, a lot of if in the 70s, if you're buying LPs, you were foxed by the Top of the Pops LPs, and they weren't the original artists. They were session singers. So you know, I thought it was too good to be true, having all the latest songs on Top of the Pops LP. Yeah, oh yeah, foxed many a person then. But K-Tel, they were the original ones, but there was only one problem with K-Tel. They cut a lot of the songs out. They cut the last verse out of the song. So you'd be enjoying the songs. You'd be waiting for the third verse and fade away and say, what's going on here? They didn't play all the song. Yeah, that's my only complaint about K-Tel. Otherwise, they were a great company. Yeah. Right, better get through some more of these comments. I'll get that boot tone. Thanks very much. Is that the big John 36? Are you looking forward to the Firestarter remake out this week? And did you like the original? As I said before, I'm not a great fan of Firestarter. It's not one of my favorite King. It's not one of my favorite King movies, unfortunately. It was more of a kind of a thriller than a horror, and I like him when he does the horror. You know, so I don't think I'll be checking that out. That new Firestarter. I didn't like the original, so in all probability, I won't like this one. Darren Burrows, all right, Darren. Alan, how much time a week do you devote to reading? It varies, yeah. Sometimes if I can't sleep of a night, I might get a paperback out and read it, nap for an hour. It varies, yeah. So, you know, sometimes I've read every night, and sometimes I miss the night and that. I've gone on my computer, but yeah, it just varies, yeah. But I've always loved reading. Always been a bookworm, yeah. Always had a book in my hand. I can remember some of the very first books I read. You know, I was knee high. I loved Enid Blyton. I love C.S. Lewis. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is my all-time favorite children's story. Very, very much a Harry Potter. What's if you could say Harry Potter-esque of its time? A very Harry Potter-esque kind of book for its time. Yeah, loved Aslan the Lion and you know the Wicked Witch and that. Like The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Yeah, loved Enid Blyton. And whenever I saw an Enid Blyton book, I'd get it right away. And then, of course, as I got older, I graduated up to more sort of like adult reading, like James Herbert, Stephen King, and that. Oh yeah, love reading. Chestnut 7, agree, Alan, on Texas Chainsaw 74. It's a fantastic movie. Yeah, 10 out of 10 all the time. That for me. DVD and film bloke. I really liked Hereditary. Most modern horrors are hit and miss with me. Yeah. Most modern horror movies are hit and miss with me. Yeah. I think I've seen more crappy ones than I've seen good ones. There's only as I say, I could count on one hand the really outstanding ones I've seen. You know, for instance, I love Last Night in Soho. I love Terrifier, the clown, Art the Clown. Yeah. I like the Ring movies with Naomi Watts. You know, there's not all that many good ones and that, you know, but of course it's a matter of opinion. You know, one man's meat is another man's poison. I'm not trying to impose my opinion on and say when I do my reviews, don't watch it. You know, you watch it and see for yourself. But this is just my opinion. You know, if I don't like a movie, I will say so. You know, as I say, Hereditary, it's a Marmite movie. Midsummer's a Marmite movie. Movies like that, you know, you either like them or you loathe them. So as I say, it's all a matter of opinion, isn't it? You know, a lot of people like blood and gore. A lot of people don't. A lot of people like jump scares. A lot of people don't. It's at the end of it, this is what makes movie discussion so interesting. We've all got our own opinions, haven't we, on what we like and what we dislike. And we've got our opinion on annoying characters, favorite characters, favorite pin-ups. Yeah, it all goes to make a great mix of movie discussion, doesn't it, guys? Yeah. Hi, Tony Crosby. Well, I don't know about that. DVD and film bloke. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was loosely based on serial killer Ed Gein, but other than that, the rest of the story was made up. Yeah. Most of the story was fiction. Yeah, but yeah, I believe the Ed Gein story, the real story, had some influence on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. As I also believe it had an influence on Psycho, Ed Gein. Yeah. They pick little bits from actual cases sometimes, don't they? And weave a movie around it. You know, it's like it's based loosely on an actual case and that. Yeah, they often do that. Like Wolf Creek, that's based on the if you've seen Wolf Creek, that's based on the Australian backpack killer from a few years ago. Love Wolf Creek. I love the second one. That's even better. I love the first one, but the second one, that's even more outstanding. You know, yeah. If you haven't seen the Wolf Creek series movies, I highly recommend you check them out. Yeah, I must admit I wasn't too keen on the series because you didn't really see much of Mick Taylor in that. You know, it was mostly about the girl and that. You know, the main female protagonist. So I didn't bother with season 2 of Wolf Creek. So I didn't really like season 1. So yes, I didn't really bother with the season 2. Just have another swig, guys. So I've got a question for you guys now. Any particular horror movie what you've watched recently and you've really, really loved? Any particular horror movie what you've watched recently and you've really, really disliked? Yeah, keep the comments coming in. I'd be very interested to hear, you know, really outstanding movies and that what you've watched recently. And turkeys, yeah, by all means, yeah, you know, let me know. DVD and film bloke, I would recommend setting up mods. I've already set up a mod and I've deleted somebody. No, being seriously, yeah, I'll keep an eye on these characters and that. They're irritating. I don't like to see them on my fellow YouTubers when they're doing live streams. I don't like them coming out with spouting a lot of rubbish and that. Sometimes filthy talk. What you don't really want to. All right, you might laugh at it and that. You might laugh it up at the same time. I don't think it sounds very nice, to be quite honest, on a channel that's going out to potentially millions of people on YouTube and that, and children could be watching. Yeah, I don't like that sort of thing at all. Yeah, so it will definitely be safeguarding my live streams. Bet your bottom dollar I will. Right, Walk on Always Believe. Hiya. What are your 2 favorite subgenres? Mine are demons and body horror. That's a difficult question to answer right away. I just give it some thoughts. Favorite subgenres. There's a lot of subgenres I like. I like horror anthology movies are a big favorites of mine. I like slasher movies, ghost movies, witchcraft movies. Yeah, there's a lot of subgenres I like. But if there's any subgenres I don't like found footage. I've said this before. I don't like found footage movies. Yeah, I like creature feature movies. They're quite good. Yeah. The Horror of Party Beach is a good one. Don't know if any of you have seen it. I know Bryn from Horror Hands, that's a big favourite of his. The Horror of Party Beach. It's a great movie. That, yeah, yeah. But as I say, like there's a lot of subgenres I like in horror, but found footage is not one of me. It's not one of my favourites. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of sci-fi. I only really like Alien. The Alien movies. The first one's the best. Who can forget the chest bursting with John Hurt? Yeah. I'm not a great fan of sci-fi. The story's got to be very good, to catch my attention. I like Day of the Triffids. That's like a sci-fi horror. That's quite good. Day of the Triffids. Yeah. The Damned. I like The Children of the Damned. That's good. I don't know if you've seen that one, where all the kids they're born and they've got like white hair and that they've got these powers and that. That's a good one. Children of the Damned. Yeah. Based on the novel The Midwich Cuckoos by I think it's John Wyndham again wrote that. Yeah. Hiya, Peace. Talking Pictures is a great channel for old school movies and TV shows. Also, Forces TV. Yeah, I'll have to check that out, Peace. Yeah. I've heard good things about that channel. Yeah. I'll give that a whirl. Yeah. Thanks. Dimebag, is that Dimebag Daryl? Hiya. Hi, Alan. Have you seen Return of the Vampire with Lugosi? Yeah. Was it made in was it 1941, 42, something like that? Yeah. I've seen it once. Yeah, it's quite a good movie. He plays it looks like a kind of a Dracula character, doesn't he? Yeah. And then he made another one, didn't he? Was it Curse of the Vampire in 35? Seen that years ago. I'd like to see a DVD or Blu-ray release of that. Yeah, he was good, Lugosi. Yeah, a lot of people think that he played Dracula, in loads of movies. He didn't. He only played Dracula once in the 1931, the original Dracula, the Universal, and then he reprised the role in the Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein of 1948. Yeah, a lot of people are under the misconception, when you say Bela, he made loads of good Dracula movies. No, he didn't. He only made two. He made the one, as I say, in 1931. And then he made he reprised the role by Abbott and Costello. But yeah, he wasn't like Boris Karloff or Lon Chaney reprising the role a few times and that. Yeah, so great actor, Bela Lugosi. I watched what's the name the other night, The Black Cat with Karloff. Great movie, yeah. I've got the Bela Lugosi Eureka set. Got 3 movies on, yeah. So I'll be watching The Raven soon as well. That's on it, yeah. Great. Oh, Lugosi, yeah. One of the staples of my early horror TV viewing, he was. DVD and film bloke. Yeah, Forces TV is great. I saw the original V on that channel. Yeah. Hiya, Gina Walpole. Yes, I much prefer the Addams Family series. Caroline Jones was fabulous as Morticia. Very good. Chestnut 7. Yes, The Shuttered Room, Alan, good film. Yeah, it's great. The Shuttered Room. Yeah. And as I say, if there's any producers of video, DVD, Blu-ray companies watching, I highly recommend that you get The Shuttered Room out on Blu-ray. It's a great movie. I always have a good time when I watch that. Great setting, the countryside and that, and the creepy house and that. Oh, it's great. The Shuttered Room really is. Yeah. Just scroll down now, guys, to the rest of the comments. Autopsy J, this is a question for both Alan and the group chat. Who is your all-time Scream Queen? All-time Scream Queen. Jamie Lee Curtis ranks highly with me. Yeah. Graces Laurie Strode and the Halloween franchise. I like Veronica Carlson at the Hammer Films. Yeah. Danielle Harris, as I said before, she's good. Trying to think of more Scream Queens. I like Linda Hayden. She's good. Yeah. Naomi Watts is good in the Ring movies, yeah. Going back to the black and white ones, Evelyn Ankers, she was in The Wolfman, great Scream Queen, yeah. There's been a few, yeah. But they're the ones that come right, spring to mind, yeah. Oh, comments are jumping. Sorry about this, guys. The comments are jumping. DVD and film bloke. Yeah, Frenzy is great. One of Hitchcock's best. I would certainly second that. Yeah, Barry Foster's really on the money playing that Rusk killer. That was his name in the film and in the novel. What's the novel called now? I'm trying to think what the novel's called. Something. I think it's the title of a song. Is it The Long Way? Oh God, what's the I can't think of the title of the novel Frenzy, but I think it's got a song title in it. It's like a song title, like a British song title. Yeah, it most probably comes to me when I finish this live stream. Yeah, but yeah, great movie, Frenzy. I've got it on Blu-ray, and you never know, they might release it on 4K. Sometime in the future. Yeah, Barry Foster was good, and Vanderbilt as well. I don't know if any of you have seen that one, but he played a Dutch detective. That was good. And I like the theme music, High Level, by the Simon Park Orchestra. That was #1 when I started high school in September 1973. Yeah, always great, Barry Foster. Yeah, sadly no longer with us. Autopsy J, I blocked that movie click guy. I know, yeah. As I say, I'm not having those sorts of goons on here. I just won't tolerate it and that. I don't like to see them on fellow YouTubers' channels, and I'm certainly not going to infiltrate mine. So yeah, not interested in things like that at all. So be warned that you'll be instantly deleted or blocked. Tony Crosby, Autopsy J, Ingrid Piss, yeah. Love Ingrid Piss, yeah. She's been in many a fine Hammer movie, yeah. She played Countess Dracula, and then she played one of the Karnsteins, the vampires. And it was a vampire love, the Vampire Lovers, yeah. And she was great in the that story at the end of The House that Dripped Blood about the horror actor is a Paul Henderson, played by John Pertwee. She goes to the house and that with him. He gets this vampire cloak and that, and he turns into a vampire, and she turns into a vampire. Oh yeah, I love Ingrid Piss. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, again, another great actress. You know, sadly no longer with us. Brian Gilson. Hiya, Brian. Hi, Alan. Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm great. Thanks, mate. Hope you are too. Thanks for popping by. Hiya, Stacey. That's why I like your channel, Alan. No profanity, and you know what you were talking about. Oh, thanks very much, Stacey. Yeah, I don't tolerate that sort of thing. I won't go on too much about it again because I've rabbited on enough. But I don't agree with that sort of thing. On you know, you do a YouTube channel and you want to entertain people, you want to cheer them up. You know, you don't want sort of like it to be spoke by idiotic profanity and senseless comments and that. Yeah. So especially these times, the way it is now, like, you know, people need cheering up. They don't want this. You know, you get enough hatred in the real world and that outside YouTube. You know, or what's going on abroad and that. You don't want it to spill over into your entertainment channels and that. Yeah. Yeah. I won't tolerate that sort of thing on my channel at all. I just don't like it. Tony Crosby, I love the 60s kitchen sink dramas, especially Rita Tushingham. Oh yeah, she's great, Rita Tushingham. Yeah, that one she made in the 60s was A Taste of Honey. Yeah, oh yeah, she's fantastic. Yeah, great British actress. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love the kitchen sink dramas. Yeah, Ken Loach, Daniel Blake, that's a good one. Yeah, and the one where the guy he takes this job on, he's suffering poverty, and he's got this family. Is it Sorry Right Number? That's a good one. Where he takes this job on as a delivery driver and that, and all different things happen to him. That's great. He's great, Ken Loach. He's a great director. Yeah. Tell you what was a good kitchen sink TV series from my neck of the woods, Boys from the Black Stuff with Yossi Hughes. Gives a Job. He used to say Gives a Job by Alan Bleasdale. That's a great kitchen sink TV series, that. Yeah, written by the great Alan Bleasdale. Yeah, oh, what he got up to and that. Yeah, it's basically, if you haven't seen it, Boys from the Black Stuff, it was originally shown in the early 80s when, you know, when everybody was unemployed, when Margaret Thatcher's government was in and everybody was unemployed and that. And it really depicts how bad it was in Liverpool, you know, the unemployment and that. And there's some really harrowing scenes in that. He wrote, Alan Bleasdale, he's a great writer because he writes like John Sullivan out of Only Fools and Horses. He puts humour in, but he also puts pathos. And you know, that's a remarkable gift. If you can put pathos in and mix it in with everyday life, you know, and add a little bit of humor, that is an example of fine writing. So if you haven't seen Boys from the Black Stuff, I highly recommend you check that out. It's great. Yeah, great kitchen sink drama. In terms of horror comedy, my favorite is Brain Dead, directed by Peter Jackson. It's very over the top. You will either have a craving for custard or never want to look at custard again. I love custard, so I don't think anything will put me off custard. I had a custard tart tonight, actually, just after my tea from Sayers, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't think I've seen Brain Dead. Is that the one where he has a transplant or something? Doesn't he get his brain put into another body or something? I don't think I've seen that one, Brain Dead. Is it similar to Basket Case? That's great, Basket Case. Peter Cushing, not the Peter Cushing. It's a shame old TV shows like Thriller, Tales of the Unexpected, etc. were shot on videotape instead of celluloid film. It was a budget thing, I know. Do you know what? I'd love to see those shows given a Blu-ray release. I really would, especially Thriller. Written by Brian Clements. They have fantastic episodes, them, especially the one with Donna Mills and One Deadly Owner, you know, and the other ones I was saying about and that. Oh yeah, you never know, they might release that. I believe well, I know the imprints of Australia, they re-released Thriller on a different box set to the British one, and from what I've seen, it's a better edition, because you get like you get a nice box in that, really nice box set, and I think they're all in the individual cases. I'm not too sure, it's a while since I watched it, but you get like a little book as well with all a synopsis of each episode and that. And I believe some people said that the picture's a bit more clearer. than the old DVD box set of Thriller. So I'd like to get that one from Imprint. It's at the moment, it's I think it's going for astronomical prices, but I'll keep watching eBay because you never know. Out of the blue, somebody could be flogging one for say 40 quid or 50 quid. So yeah, Imprints. Yeah, I got their Imprints the Hammer House of Horror, and it's fantastic. Yeah, it's excuse me, I'll just have a swig. All the talking's make me throat dry. Yeah, I've got the Hammer House of Horror, the 1980 TV series from Imprint, and it's a big difference, a big improvement on the old one I had, the old DVD and Blu-ray. Yeah, because you get you get commentary on it and that, and it's a nice box set. So yeah, I like Imprint. Yeah. Andy Howard. Hi, Andy. Dennis Swartzman, one of the few actors to star in 3 popular TV series, The Sweeney, Minder, and New Tricks. Yeah. I must admit, I only seen a couple of episodes of New Tricks. So, isn't that the Amanda Redmond star in that, and James Bolam? Yeah, weren't the ex-coppers, and he come out of retirement to solve cases? Yeah. I only watched 1 or 2 episodes of that New Tricks, but yeah, as I say, I grew up watching Sweeney and Minder. Fantastic. Yeah. Brian Gilson. Hiya, Brian. Do you like What's a Carve Up? I think I've seen that on a Sky. Yeah, isn't that? It's like a Carry On movie, isn't it? Yeah, it's Sid James in that, and Bernard Cribbins. Yeah, I think I've seen that one. It's something, isn't it? Something like 10 Little Indians. Yeah, like a murder thing. Yeah, I think I've seen that one on the one of the Sky channels. Chestnut Seb 7. All the cast of On the Buses are gone now, as Anna Karen just died. Oh yeah, it was terrible. Anna Karen. Yeah. Arthur was my favorite character. Oh yeah. Oh, don't mention his operation. Oh, you got a right cob on. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love On the Buses. Yeah, I tell you, my favorite. You know what my favorite episode of that was? The Inspector's Niece, where Stan falls head over heels over. Blakey's got this lovely niece. She's got long blonde hair, played by Madeline Mills, and Stan goes absolutely crazy for her. To the extent that he even asked Blakey around to his house with his niece and that for tea and that. Yeah, they made 2 of the Inspector's Niece and Going Steady. They're my 2 favourite episodes, and I also like the one where Stan made his home brew and he got drunk and he went back to the depot and he was sloshed and that, and Jack was trying to sober him up. He's giving him these spoonfuls of mash to try and sober him up. And another one I like, where they pretend to be Stan and Jack, they pretend to be airline pilots, in the money, and he goes, I think it's a pub. They go to this pub and they pick these girls up and they spin them this yarn, being mendacious, telling lies, tall stories that they're in the money, that airline pilots and that. All that, so many iconic episodes and that on the buses. A fantastic series. Yeah, it wasn't the same though when Reg Varney left. They done an episode called Stan's Leaving or something. Yeah, it wasn't the same. Yeah, because they continued it on. I think it was a couple more episodes with Bob Grant and Stephen Lewis, but it wasn't the same. Once Stan left. But love On the Buses. Love the movies, and I hope they get a Blu-ray release. Brian Gilson. It's a great horror comedy. What's a Carve Up, I presume. Gina Walpole. Kolchak is my favorite type of TV series. Yeah, I want that on Blu-ray, Gina. As I said before, I'm definitely, that's right on my want list. That and the minute it comes down in price, I'll treat myself to the Blu-ray set of that, Kolchak. Autopsy J. Bloodbath at the House of Death is my favorite comedy. Kenny Everett was a great comedian. Yeah, that's the one with Pamela Stevenson in, isn't it? And Vincent Price. It's quite good, that. Yeah, and the fella out of Gareth Hunt's, the fella that was in the New Avengers. The clones, aren't they? They get killed one by one. They come back as clones, don't they? Yeah. It's a fun movie, that. Yeah. They might bring that out on Blu-ray eventually. That one with Frankie Howard in, The House on Nightmare Park. I wasn't too keen on that one. No, I don't know if you've seen that one. Yeah, Frankie Howard, he's the main protagonist in that. And I think Ray Milland is he's the creepy owner of this big country house and that, with all sorts of spooky things. I didn't like that at all, The House at Nightmare Park. I had the DVD and I flogged it. I didn't like it. DVD and Film Bloke. Yeah, it was horrible what happened to her. Yeah, poor Anna Karen. Yeah, she was great as Olive. Brian Gilson, I love Bloodbath at the House of Death. Yeah. Chestnut 7 DVD and Film Bloke. Yeah, it was a terrible. Rest in peace, Anna. Oh yeah, she was a great actress, Anna Karen, and she was wasn't she in EastEnders for a time? Autopsy J, Queen are my favorite band of all time. Queen 2 is the perfect album. I like a couple of Queen songs. I'm not really a huge fan of them. There's a couple I like. I like Bohemian Rhapsody, you know, and You're My Best Friend. I like that. And the one where he takes Elvis off, he goes, Crazy Little Thing Called Love. I like that one. That's good. Yeah, Ride My Bicycle Race. The other one, Don't Stop Me Now. Yeah. But I'm not really a huge fan of Queen, like I say, although I like a couple of the songs, yeah. Tony Crosby, Ito. I have that Sweet's biggest hits. Brown cover with them dressed as Indians. Yeah, the memories are coming back now. Yeah. Peter Cushion. Do you ever find 60s, 70s horror DVDs in charity shops? I never find any over here, Ireland. It's all 90s or 2000 stuff. Yeah, now and again. Very, very rare. You know, it's usually 80s or 90s, you know. I did get a bargain today, although it wasn't a charity shop. It's a new shop that's opened in Birkenhead Precinct. It's they sell all games and DVDs. I think I've spoken about it before, but I can't remember the title. I got Oculus for £2. You know about the one with the haunted mirror. I got that, and I got another one called Bone Breaker. I think it was made about 3 or 4 years ago. Bone Breaker, yeah. So I'm looking forward to watching them. Yeah, I haven't seen Bone Breaker, but I've seen Oculus. So when I saw it for £2, I like, God, that's in my collection. And I got the slipcover as well. So all good, great, all good guys, yeah. Brian Gilson, The Cure is my favorite band. I don't know the first thing about them, so I couldn't comment, Brian. DVD and Film Bloke, Chestnut 7. Yeah, she was that last surviving cast member. Peter Cushion, giving away your age, Alan. What do you mean? I'm only 21. No, I don't talk about age. I don't, you know, it's just off the agenda for me, age. Yeah, you're as old as you feel. Oh, Mrs. Yeah, all gone now, sad. Yeah. Autopsy J, Peter Cushion. That's because the Irish have sense to keep hold of the classic films. That's it. Talking about Ireland and movies. Has anybody seen Belfast? My mum wants to see that movie. Yeah, my auntie's seen it. She said it's okay, but my mum really wants to see that because she likes her Irish movies and that. So at the weekend, we might rent it out. Watch that Belfast. Yeah, yeah. It's in black and white. Yeah. So if any of you've seen it, let me know. What is it good? But of course, again, it's a matter of personal opinion, isn't it? So, Andy Howard, hi Andy. I remember those Top of the Pops albums, very skilled session players, but not the originals. I seem to remember they came with a poster of the girl on the cover. Yeah, they always had a glamour girl on the cover, you know, with her hand in her hair, and with boots on up to her knees and that, and a leotard and that, or hot pants and that. Well, hot pants were very popular. They were very popular in the 70s, hot pants and that, yeah. But yeah, I think that was the main selling point with those Top of the Pops albums. They always had a glamour girl on, and he'd have all the songs in like an oblong, and and all different colors. You might get a red one, blue, yellow, and they were very, 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 very well marketed in terms of aesthetics. The layouts and at the cover. But yeah, at the end of the day, they were just one big rip off because they weren't the original artists. Something so it's like a Jive Bunny. You mean like they were kind of session singers? Anyone remember Jive Bunny? They were good. I like Jive Bunny. They did sound like the original artists, but it's the same sort of thing, really, isn't it? Like session singers getting brought in to mimic the actual artists. But some of them you could have sworn they were the real ones. There's one there that takes Cliff Richard off, and you swear it was Cliff. Tony Crosby, hi Tony. Handy Howard, I have a few of them on CD. Yeah. Lucas talking movies forever. All right, Luke. Well, it's been brilliant watching you, Alan, mate. I have to go now. Have a great rest of your streamers. Oh yeah. Oh, thanks very much, Luke, for dropping by. It was nice to talk to you, and it all going well. I'll talk to you again. You know, very, very soon. Yeah, because I hope to do another one. You know, very soon, and after that, I'll be having a guest or two on. So yeah, thanks again, Luke. Yeah, yeah. Have a nice weekend. Yeah, thanks. Stuart Purvis. All right, Stu. Hi, hey, Alan. Yeah, thanks for popping by. Andy Howard. Hiya, Andy. Tony Crosby, the Top of the Pops albums, loved them. Wasn't until a few years later that I knew it wasn't the originals. Yeah, yeah. I soon found out that it wasn't the originals. I thought it was too good to be true, because as I say, you know, I used to buy them and that, and I used to say, like, you know, to my family, these are great. These, you've got all the latest pop singles on one album, but too good to be true. But as I say, they were session singers and that, but by golly, they did a good job of impersonating those real stars, especially Mark Bolan, you know, T-Rex and Slade and that. Oh yeah, Mungo Jerry and all the ones that done Mungo Jerry. All right, they were good. Yeah. Tony Crosby and Andy Howard. They were never really that good, but they were a great laugh to listen to. Yeah, Party Records. Peter Cushing. Have you watched the Terry Talks movies channel on YouTube? No, Peter. He reviews a lot of old cults and other unusual films. He knows the stuff. I'll have to check that out. Thanks, Peter. Gina Walpole. All right, Gina. Recently watched Cold Skin. I thought it was very good. I couldn't tell you because I've never heard of Cold Skin. Now, is it a horror movie, it's a TV series, or yeah? I've never heard of it, so I can't comment. Unfortunately, Gina. Oh, this damn thing keeps jumping up. Just hang on, guys. Just lost my comments here. Where are we? Just getting back. Right. DVD and film bloke. For a movie, I love The Razorhead. I adored that movie. I've really grown to David Lynch as a director. Yeah, I have to be honest. I couldn't really get into a Razorhead, unfortunately. Yeah, I think it's a kind of a Marmite movie. You either like it or you loathe it. And unfortunately, it's not one movie I could watch again. Unfortunately, but I do know a lot of people like it. But then on the other hand, there's a lot of people that don't like it, so I fall into the latter. So yeah, not one of my favorites, unfortunately. Bushman Blue. All right, Mark. Not a fan of found footage myself, Alan. Not a fan of films set in asylums either. Rice. Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I say I'm not a great fan of found footage, but if it's a movie set in asylum, it's a good story, I'll watch it. Like the anthology movie Asylum. I've got a poster of it there on my wall there. That's a great one. It's like they got Robert Powell. He's the main protagonist. He's in the framing story, and he goes to this asylum that he's got to guess who the real Dr. Starr is. Well, if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. And there's patients, I think it's 4. Yeah. And they've each got they've done something in their lives, and they've ended up in the cell and that, you know, in the hospital, and it's a different story for each person and that, and he's got to guess who the Dr. Starr is and that. But I won't give away any more of it in case you haven't seen it. That's my best movie set in asylum and that. There was one made years ago called the Snake Piss. I think it was Olivia de Havilland was in it. I didn't like that. I was bored sick with that. The Snake Piss. Have any of you seen that one, The Snake Piss? Old black and white movie. I think it was made in was it 1948? Yeah, I didn't like The Snake Piss at all. Bedlam's a good one with Boris Karloff. That's set in an asylum. Yeah, Bedlam. Sorry. Chestnut 7, Village of the Damned and Children of the Damned. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I like the Damned movies. Yeah, I like the remake as well with Christopher Reeve in, and the girl that was in Cheers, Kirstie Alley. That was quite good. It was in colour. Yeah. Excuse me, I'll just have a little swig. We'll go on till about 10 o'clock, guys, if that's okay. Yeah, I've enjoyed it anyway. Yeah. So it's getting a bit dry now. Just exhausted me refreshments. So yeah, we'll go on till about 10 if that's okay. Yeah. Nice. Tony Crosby, just watched the Final Destination movies for the first time, and I really enjoyed them. Yeah, I must admit, it's been a few years since I watched the Final Destination. Well, I haven't watched all of them. I watched the one with the airplane. I watched that one. There wasn't the one with a roller coaster, but other than that, I couldn't tell you what happens in any of the others, and because I haven't seen them. I just remember the airplane and the roller coaster, and that's about it. DVD and film bloke. The novel of Frenzy was called. That's the one. Goodbye Piccadilly, farewell to Leicester Square. That's the novel of Frenzy. That was what I was trying to think of. Yeah, and I knew it had a song title. Yeah, I haven't read the novel, but sometimes the novel differs. Differs from the actual movie. For example, I don't know if you've seen I know Bryn has Eye of the Devil, starring Sharon Tate and David Niven. That's a great movie made in 1966. That's based on a novel called A Day of the Arrow, which I've just ordered online. I'm waiting for that to come. So I'm going to see how the novel compares to Eye of the Devil. Oh yeah, that's a great movie, that Eye of the Devil. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend you check that out. It's got like Wicker Man aspects to it, mixed in with the occult and that. So I like to get the novel as well, because like with Stephen King, I like to read his novel and I like to watch the movie as well. I like seeing how they compare. And with me being a horror writer, I learn a lot out sort of like, plot construction, story themes and that. It all ties in, with watching movies, being a writer and comparing stories. And I'll tell you what I do love as well. I like the special features where, you get the actors getting talking about the little anecdotes that occurred on the set and that. I love all that. I love the special features. I love how films are made. I love the anecdotes. I like to see all the famous actors and that getting interviewed and that. Yeah, I love all that. Always been interested in filmmaking as well as watching movies. I've always been interested in the background of it. Yeah, love it. DVD and film bloke. Also, the first murder, I presume you mean scene in Frenzy, was one of the hardest things I've ever seen on film. Oh yeah, when I first watched that, it terrified me. Yeah, it's really bad. That was really brutal. When he went to the office and that, he was looking for a particular type of woman, wasn't he? Yeah, and it was shocking. Yeah, really shocking, that scene, Frenzy. Yeah, and again, he like Anna Massey. Although you don't actually see that. That was pretty disturbing, because she's, I don't know if she comes out of the pub and that, and he comes behind and he says, "Are you looking for a place to stay?" Oh, he sent shivers down my spine, that Robert Rusk, played by Barry Foster. He was a real, I think he was just as bad as Norman Bates, brutal and that, and the part in the van, the potatoes and that, where the body falls out on. Oh yeah, all the potatoes are all over the road and that. He doesn't. His tie pin or something's clasping the woman he's just murdered. His tie pin. She's grabbed hold of his tie pin and he's got to go back, hasn't he, to retrieve it. Oh, that's a great movie, Frenzy. It really is. Yeah, and the way that his mate gets framed for the murder and that. Yeah, one of Hitchcock. That is in my together with Psycho, The Birds. That is number 3 on my all-time top 10 Alfred Hitchcock movies, Frenzy. It's a great movie, made in 1972. Fantastic movie. Right. Scrolling down to the comments, guys. Tony Crosby, The Shape of Water is another great one I watched recently, but it reminded me of Creature from the Black Lagoon. I haven't seen that one, Tony, but I've heard a few things about it. Some people like it, and some people don't like it. Yeah, The Shape of Water. I'll have to check that out, Tony. Yeah, I like the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Chestnut 7, Ingrid Pitt, Countess Dracula. Yeah, great actress, Ingrid Pitt. Very synonymous with Hammer, very synonymous. Stuart Purvis, Evil Dead. I presume you mean the very first one that Bruce Campbell starred in. Yeah, I like the Evil Dead. Yeah, especially that scene with the trees. Oh, God, that sent shivers down my spine. That did. I remember it got banned, didn't it? When I first started renting videos, I had the job getting that movie, Evil Dead, because it'd been banned. Yeah. And when he done the sequel, he sort of like rebooted the story, didn't he? Bruce Campbell was in it, but it's an entirely different story. But the special effects are good in both movies. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on the series that they made. I wasn't too keen on that, but I liked the first two. I'm not a big fan of Evil Dead 3. I thought that was a boring movie, really was. I didn't like the way they went back, like historical times. I didn't like that at all. I'm not really a big fan of period pieces, other than the Hammer films. The story's got to be really good. I don't like even some of the TV series like Alfred Hitchcock Presents, when the story's set in olden days. I say, it's set in olden days. Like it's just something about the period pieces that bore me. Unless the story's really good. One period piece film I'd like to see is The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. I mean, I think that's set in the 18th century, about the Headless Horseman. I might check that out, but as I say, the story's got to be really good with period pieces. Not a big fan of them. Thomas Pearson, nice, Alan. Been great watching you live. I'm off for a cuppa. Oh, thanks very much, Thomas, mate. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. Really appreciate you dropping in and that and saying hello. And it all going well. I'll talk to you again very soon. Yeah, thanks. Have a nice weekend. Bushman Blue, hiya Mark. Do you remember a film called Deadly Strangers, 1975, starring Simon Ward and Hayley Mills? Needs a new release. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I watched that on YouTube about a year ago, but the picture quality left a lot to be desired. Oh yeah, it's a good. I tell you what, Mark, that's got a great twist as well. Yeah, that's another one. I'd like to see released on given a good DVD or Blu-ray release. So again, if Arrow's watching, which I hope they are, fingers crossed, these movies, what we're mentioning, I'd love to see them released on Blu-ray. That's a great one, that, Mark. Yeah, Deadly Strangers. Yeah, so I'll keep my fingers crossed that does get an eventual DVD or Blu-ray release. Tony Crosby, Poor Cow was another great movie starring Carol White and Terence Stamp. Yeah. DVD and film bloke, Brain Dead is a zombie movie, right? Bushman Blue, I have the box set of Thriller. It's the network release, but I still need to watch it. It's great, Mark. Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite TV series. Yeah, solid writing by Brian Clemens, great characters. A lot of guest appearances, as I say. Dennis Swartzman, he's in one of them. Linda Day George is in one. Yeah, oh yeah. Well, when you see all the names and that, you say, oh yeah, that actor, yeah. And sometimes you see a familiar face and you can't put a name to them. So what's his name now? Yeah, oh yeah, some great guest appearances in those thrillers. S.A. Pell, greetings from Argentina, Alan. Oh, yeah, nice to talk to you. Yeah, thanks for popping by. Yeah, nice to speak to you. Jamie Frisbee, hi Alan. Dennis Waterman, rest in peace. He was brilliant in Scouser Dracula. Oh, I'd certainly second that, Jamie. Yeah, So Young with Sarah, Jim, the blonde girl, you mean, don't you? Jenny Hanley. Yeah. Have you seen Madman, one of the best campfire slashers? I've seen it a good few years ago. I don't remember too much about it. I'll have to give that another watch. It's out on Arrow, isn't it? Yeah, I've seen it, a few years ago, but I don't remember too much about it, Jamie. Snipped again. Espel, that t-shirt is sick. Well, the Wolfman was a very sick character because he suffered from lycanthropy, so I suppose you could say it's sick. Like Larry Talbot and that, he had the curse of the werewolf. I suppose you would regard that as a kind of sickness, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I hope you mean sick in a nice way. Tony Crosby, loved the episode of On the Buses where they put a new toilet in the house. Yeah, as I say, so many classic episodes of On the Buses. I loved every single one. I really did, and the movies as well. There wasn't one bad movie made at that franchise. Chestnut 7 Hammer made the 3 On the Buses films. Indeed, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Not always making horrors, they did make other films as well. Yeah, and he did a fine job too. DVD and film bloke. The self-defense episode of On the Buses was great. Yeah. DVD and Film Bloke. Actually, some of my favourite episodes are the black and white ones. Yeah. Love the Likely Lads here. James Bolam and Rodney Bewes. Yeah, that was a big staple of my teenage viewing years. The Likely Lads. Yeah, great series. Yeah, James Bolam and Rodney Bewes are both really on the money in that series. Our DVD and Film Bloke. Although the DVDs of On the Buses could have been better, because it's clear the original tapes were played to death. Yeah. Well, they might do fingers crossed, they might do a Blu-ray release of it On the Buses, the movies, and then maybe, just maybe, the series. But you know, you don't know, do you? I'll tell you what, one series I'd really love to see get a Blu-ray release, and that is the HBO Tales from the Crypt series from the late 80s, early 90s. Oh, I'd love to see that on Blu-ray. I really would, yeah. It's fantastic. I love that series, Tales from the Crypt. I've got all series on DVD. I love the little puppet, the Crypt Keeper at the beginning, you know. And again, just like Thriller, you get the guest stars and that as well. You know, big names from the world of movies and that. Oh yeah. So again, if any DVD Blu-ray companies watching, it might be a good idea to consider getting Tales from the Crypt, the HBO TV series, out on Blu-ray. Yeah, I'm sure it'd sell well. I'm always champion physical media. I hate all the, you know, the streaming obsession with streaming. Don't get me wrong, I stream movies myself, but I don't like the way it's phased. It's sort of like pushing some of the physical media outlets to one side. I mean, Tesco's has stopped selling DVDs and Blu-rays, which I think is wrong. Shame on you, Tesco, if anybody's watching. And I don't like the way other supermarkets might be thinking about following suit. There's a lot of people like collecting movies. I mean, I won't rant on too much about it, but you know, there's a lot of us, I'm sure you'll agree, those of you who collect movies, you know, love collecting movies, and we don't want streaming to replace physical media entirely. All right, side by side is fine, but please don't shove physical media into extinction, you know, because a lot of us love collecting movies. You like the aesthetics of a movie, holding it in your hand, you know, and putting it on your shelf and that. So let's just hope physical media will never completely die out, you know. Always champion the cause of physical media. DVD and Film Bloke. I mean, the Snake episode had some really bad tape scratches. It's not a problem with the DVD. It was the problem with the original tape. Yeah. DVD and Film Bloke again. I guess the one thing that's cool about most of the On the Buses DVD is some of the episodes still have the BT clocks at the start. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Gina Walpole. Cold Skin is set on a remote island where the lighthouse keepers are attacked every night by creatures from the sea. Oh, it's beautifully filmed and a bit Lovecraftian in feel. I'll have to watch out for that one. Yeah. If it's on Blu-ray, I might pick it up. Cold Skin. Yeah. Thanks for that, Gina. Right. Chestnut 7. What was your what was your first VHS you bought? Mine was Bonnie and Clyde, and I paid £40 for it in 1982. Oh, now you're asking. The first VHS I ever bought. Oh gosh. Well, I remember Abba the Movie was one of the first VHS tapes I bought, but I don't think it was the first one. I think the first one was I'm sure it was double bill of The Wolfman and Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman on VHS. You have the two films on VHS. Two of my all-time favorite movies, starring the late great Lon Chaney Jr. as Larry Talbot. Yeah, Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman and The Wolfman. Yeah, I'm sure that was my very first VHS tape I ever bought. Yeah, I haven't got it now, of course, like, but yeah, I'm sure it was. It's either that or ABBA. ABBA was one of the first. ABBA the movie was definitely one of the first ones I bought. And of course, Christopher Lee's Dracula movies. Bushman Blue. Hiya, Mark. Do you like The Changeling with George C. Scott and Ghost Story with Fred Astaire? Two great films. Oh, I have to say, Mark, those two movies, I didn't really, you know, I have to be honest, I didn't really like them. You know, I mean, a lot of people, you know, you like them yourself, yeah, and I respect your opinion, but they didn't, you know, they didn't really do much for me. I would have loved to have enjoyed them, you know, because prior to me seeing them, a lot of people were raving over them. They said, you know, they were good and that. And he said Fred Astaire, he's great in Ghost Story and that, and George C. Scott and Changeling. But I watched them, and you know, I have to admit, you know, they're not two of me favourite horror movies. But you know, that's just my opinion. hate the way this keeps jumping. Autopsy J, I've just uploaded that Abbott and Costello me Frankenstein bloopers onto my channel if anyone wants to see them. Sorry if I'm not allowed to put this. Oh, fair enough, yeah. DVD and film bloke, the potato truck scene in Frenzy is pitch perfect black comedy. Oh God, yeah, yeah, and very, very creepy as well. Tony Crosby, hi Tony. The Legend of Hell House is a horror classic with Roddy McDowell. I'll say it is. That is a fantastic haunted house movie based on the Hell House novel by Richard Matheson. Oh yeah, it's great. It's got atmosphere. The characters are good. It's a real creepy, creepy setting. I think the villain was called was it Belasco, the guy who used to own the house. He had all these black magic rituals and that. Oh yeah, that is a movie rife in horror atmosphere from start to finish, and especially the scene, as I say, where that guy he sets that machine up, doesn't he, to monitor paranormal activity, and it blows up in his face. Oh yeah, and what excuse me, Gail Honeycutt gets possessed and she comes on to Roddy McDowell. Oh yeah, it's a great movie. That I've got that in my collection. It's yeah, I think it was made in 1973. Yeah, Grace Haunted House movies, one of the best, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Autopsy J, Tales from the Crypt is out on Blu-ray. Yeah, I've got it in my collection. I'd like to see that company that done the House of Crypt Blood and Asylum do. I think it's Second Sight. Do a version of Tales from the Crypt, you know, a real good updated version with a booklet and that, and a special feature. So if anybody's watching from that company, love to see that. Yeah, I'd have the three then. I'd have the House of Crypt Blood, the Asylum, and Tales from the Crypt, and then all that would be missing would be Vaults of Horror. Tony Crosby, what did you think of the Twilight Zone vampire? I didn't like it, Tony. I did. The one with Jordan Peele, I presume. Yeah, I didn't like it. I watched 1 or 2 episodes and I switched it off. I was bored, senseless. It was not a patch. It was not a patch on the Rod Serling one from the, you know, it was the late 50s, early 60s. It wasn't a patch on that. That's always my favorite one from, you know, Rod Serling, the original one. Yeah, I didn't like it. No. Big disappointments. I got the Blu-ray from HMV and I flogged it online. Yeah, I didn't like it. Another example of if you redo a good old show or old movie, and it doesn't turn out to be, you know, as good as the original. Tony Crosby, I love my physical media. Yeah, here. I have countless box sets of TV comedy I adore. Yeah, I love me comedies myself, Tone. Yeah. I've just got 2 actually this week from HMV in a sale, $7.99. The Fast Lady and Father Came Too. Both movies star James Robertson Justice and Stanley Baxter. Remember him, Stanley Baxter? So I've seen The Fast Lady. So I thought I'd get the Blu-ray and of course the other one and Father Came Too. So I'm looking forward to watching them. Yeah, great. I love me British comedies from the 1960s. And 70s. Jamie Frisbee. Hi, Jamie. Found out there is another Hammer horror film of a werewolf called The Legend of the Werewolf. It is the end of the 70s with Peter Cushing. W.H. Smith sells DVDs. We used to have HMV here. No more now. That's a shame. Some of the way the HMV stores have closed down. You know, we had one in Birkenhead and that's closed down. Yeah, and I hate to see, do you know what I said before? I hate to see all these stores and shops that selling physical media either discontinuing or closing down. You know, it's bad. Like, you know, especially for us movie collectors, we love collecting movies and that. And I say, don't get me wrong, I do think there's a place for streaming because it can be very economical. But at the same time, there's a lot of us that like collecting hard copies of our favorite movies. So I think they should be side by side, not one trying to push the other out. And in regards to your comments about The Legend of the Werewolf, I don't think that was a Hammer horror film because they only made the one werewolf. I think that might be Tygon or Amicus. I think it might be Tygon, that The Legend of the Werewolf. Yeah, Peter Cushing's in it, isn't he? 1975. I think that's Tygon. Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, anybody on here. But I'm sure that's Tygon. It's either Tygon or Amicus. But I know Amicus made The Beast Must Die with Peter Cushing. But I'm sure that Legend of the Werewolf, it's either Tygon or Tyburn. Yeah, good movie. Another one I'd like to see out on Blu-ray. Great werewolf on that as well with the white hair. Revenge with Joan Collins is a good thriller. Yeah, I'm going to add that one to my collection. Yeah, it's a great one, that. Dimebag Daryl, what are your thoughts on the old Godzilla movies? I've only seen one years ago when I was a kid, but I haven't seen any of the others. I've seen the modern ones, and there was one made. It was just called Godzilla. It was really boring. You didn't see him till near the end. Yeah, I didn't like Godzilla versus Kong. I did not like that at all. I did not like the story. But yeah, I can't really comment on the old Godzilla movie because I've only seen one. Yeah. Geek Legion of Doom. Hi, Leo. We had a new big HMV open 6 months ago, and even that doesn't have huge amounts of DVDs. It's mostly filled with toys and tats. Oh, it's terrible, as I say. Yeah, I hate to see the decline of physical media because HMV is my number one port of call, you know, for new releases and that. When I'm not buying online, I always like to go to HMV on a Monday to see all the new releases. I think it stinks the way that you know, the sort of like cutting down on the Blu-rays and DVDs, you know, as I say, you know, there's still a big market for them. You know, it's very sad. It really is. Autopsy J. Right, I'm off to watch on the buses. Enjoy it. Yeah, I'm sure you will. Thanks to you lot. Take care. Love this stream. And I am looking forward to watching more and talking more. Take care, everyone. Oh, thanks very much for coming along. Yeah, it was nice to talk to you. And it all going well. I hope to talk to you again soon. Thanks. Have a nice weekend. Scroll down, guys. We've got another 10 minutes to go, so if you've got any questions, just get them in now, you know, and I'll answer as many as I can. I'll get through them as fast as I can if you've got any questions. Yeah, Jamie Frisbee, what do you think of all the Fly movies, Alan? My favorite one is the original with David Hedison in. I like the second one. I wasn't too keen on that that remake with Jeff. It was a Jeff Goldblum. I didn't like that one at all. Yeah, there's something about it. It just didn't appeal to me. You know, I like the original David Hedison, and I like the Return of the Fly. The third one was all right, but the first two are my favourites. Yeah. Got the box set of that, by the way, The Fly. Tony Crosby. Nice, Alan. As always, it's been great chatting. Oh, yeah, thanks very much, Tony. And it all going well. I hope to talk to you again very, very soon. Yeah, have a nice weekend, and thanks for dropping by. Thanks. Yeah, so I said we're going for another well, it's just over 10 minutes now. So if you've got any questions, just get them in. Yeah, I've enjoyed it, guys. Yeah, it's been great. You know, my second live stream and that, and obviously we're still a little bit sort of like green at the moment, getting used to everything and that. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it and that, and I'm very grateful to everybody that's come along. You know, enjoy it. I've enjoyed it speaking to you all. Yeah, so I hope you're all looking forward to the weekend. I believe it's going to be hot over the weekend. Not good news for me. I can't stand hot weather. I really hate it. You know, I don't mind the sun, but I don't like it when it's really hot and that and you can't sleep overnight. Oh, yeah, I'm very much of an awesome winter person. Yeah. Got another comment here. DVD and film bloke. Oh, yeah, good, nice. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Yeah, I've enjoyed it and that. Yeah, it's been great. Really has, yeah. And as I say, all going well. I hope to talk to you again very soon. Gina Walpole. Me too. Great evening. Hope you'll do another one soon. Yeah, I hope to do one next Thursday, actually. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been nice talking to you. Thanks for dropping by, Gina. Bushman Blue. Hiya, Mark. Enjoyed your stream, Alan. The first one I have watched. Oh, thanks very much, Mark. Yeah. I've got your poster. I sent your poster off today, by the way. Recorded delivery, so you should get it tomorrow. Yeah, congratulations again. You've done real good in that competition. You know, well, the 3 competitions actually. Yeah, it's been great talking to you. I've really enjoyed it, and all the guys and that came along and that. So yeah, all going well. I'll do another one next Thursday, and after that, I hope to start having a guest or 2 on. So if you'd like to come on my channel as a guest, let me know by all means, and I'll be happy to fit you in. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Really getting into it now. Really getting into the swing of things. Yeah. Yeah, say next Thursday, all going well. Again, the main topic will be horror, because that's my number one genre. But having said that, if you've got any other questions about any other kind of movies, or you want to broach the subject of other genres like westerns, thrillers, you know, movies like that, TV series, by all means do so. Yeah. So be whistling down in a minute to get myself some supper, and then curl up and watch the telly. Yeah. I've been watching the Chucky series and that. I'm up to it. I just watched episode 3 last night, so I'm just up to the next one now. So yeah, up to now it's not bad. Yeah, let's see how it goes and that. Yeah. Chestnut 7, good night, Alan. Enjoyed the show very much. Oh, thanks very much, bud. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Yeah, I've enjoyed chatting to you. Yeah, and all going well next Thursday. If you pop by again, we'll have another chat and that. And yeah, have a nice weekend anyway. Yeah, thanks for popping in. Gary the Blu-ray Addict, have you ever thought of showing your full collection on YouTube? Yeah, once I get me additional shelving put in, because at the moment, like, my shelves are brimming over. They're absolutely brimming over with movies. So I've got to get a new DVD unit. But the only thing is, I don't like doing DIY, and I'm very short-tempered when it comes to putting, you know, hammer and nails in and that. So I've been trying to get one that's ready-made, but it's proven very difficult at the moment. So if any of you know, anybody out there knows of a firm that does ready-made DVD, Blu-ray storage units, let me know. You know, I'll order one and that. But yeah, once I get all my collection all uniform and that, because I like to store them all with like studio, you know, studio by studio all together, all the arrows, all the Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah. So once I've got all that sorted, I'll hope to do a full video of my full collection. Yeah. Jamie Frisbee. Hi, Jamie. Good night, Alan. Really well done on another live show. Enjoyed very much. Hope you do another one soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay scared as always. Oh, thanks very much, Jamie, mate. Yeah, it was nice talking to you. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, you know, and it all going well next Thursday. If you pop in, I'll have another chat with you. Yeah, thanks very much, and have a nice weekend, Jamie. Yeah, thanks. Gary the Blu-ray Addict, if you buy a film you don't like, do you keep them? If I buy a film I don't like, I do one of two things. The first thing I do is throw it on eBay. And if I don't like it, if I don't get any buys, I offer it to me YouTubers, you know, me close YouTubers, to see if they've seen it. I send it to them for free. So yeah, so the first thing I do, I put on eBay. And if it doesn't sell on eBay, I might put it on a second time if it's a new movie. And if it doesn't sell a second time, I offer it, you know, say to me, any of my YouTubers, well, I've got a movie here. I'll send it to you free. Yeah. Dimebag Daryl, nice, Alan. Have a good weekend. Oh, thanks very much, mate. Yeah, thanks for coming along. I've enjoyed talking to you, and it all going well next Thursday. If you pop by, I'll chat to you again. I've enjoyed it. Have a nice weekend. Gary the Blu-ray Addict, would you buy the same film multiple times? Very, very rarely do that. You know, only if it's like a movie what's come out and the picture quality is better than the one I've got. Like Psycho, for instance, you know, and a couple of other movies in my collection. I watch a lot of reviews on YouTube to make sure that I'm going to be getting value for money if I do upgrade. But it's very, very rare I buy, you know, keep buying, excuse me, multiple copies of a movie. So we're going to be on for another 2 minutes, guys. Yeah. So if you've got any questions, just keep them coming in. Yeah, I'll try and answer as many as I can. Gary North, good evening, everyone. Oh, you're a bit late to the party, Gary. I'm just finishing now. Thanks for coming in anyway. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. My second live stream. Yeah, very nice chatting to you all on that. And thanks very much for dropping by in that. Love talking about movies and that. Could talk about movies till the cows come home. You know, yeah, I've enjoyed it. Really have. So we're on for another minute or so. So. As I say, I'll put up anyway. If I'm on next Thursday, I'll put the thumbnail up, and then after that, I hope to start inviting guests on. So if anybody wants to come on my channel, let me know, and I'll be happy to accommodate you. Thanks for answering my questions. I will look forward to the next one. Take care. Oh, thanks, Gary. Yeah, thanks, bud. Yeah, look forward to chatting to you all again. Hopefully next Thursday. Yeah. So Yeah, I've enjoyed it, really have. Yeah, and I hope you all have a nice weekend, whatever you're doing and that, you know, and stay cool. If it's going to be hot and that, perish the thoughts. Yeah, so yeah. All right then, guys. So I'm going to finish now. Thanks very much again, you know, for popping by and having a chat. I've really enjoyed myself, and I'm really getting into it now. So next Thursday, all going well, you know, I'll do another one, and then after that, I'll start. The next one will be having guests on. Okay, then, guys. Have a nice weekend. Speak soon. Bye.